the Nathan and Steve Show. Let's have a good time. You have never seen a show like you're about to see today, folks. This is gonna get crazy.
Who else is gonna tell you about the games? About the news that's news about the games?
Are you gonna listen to some boring other goobers? Why not trust these two YouTubers?
So we're having lots of fun. It's a good time talking about games.
The Nathan and Steve Show. 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 We'll tell you about games that are straight up fire and about some devs that are freaking liars.
So we learned our lesson about talking bad about Borderlands.
We sure did. It's the Nathan and Steve Show. Let's have a good time. No copyright music like Shania Twain, but we sure do talk about video games.
And we also like all kinds of things, so you might hear us say whatever's on our brains.
The Nathan and Steve Show. 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 Lots of games you need to play.
So we'll have a lot of freaking fun today.
With the nipple laser ray.
That's what they say. The Nathan and Steve Show, brought to you by the Nathan Napalm Channel and our partners at Cringe Pony Television Network.
Thank you to the members on YouTube and the subs on Twitch. Thank you all for joining the Nathan Napalm Nation. You help keep the lights on so I can keep streaming and pumping out content. I want to also thank the highest tier members for their epic support. Bounty Code, Jared Woodhouse, Daimlos, Farthest Reach, Sparrow, Random Rob, Galerain Moonsong, What's the Takeaway, Bad Wolf Gaming, Robert Taneka, Pip Pop, My Boot in Your Ass, The Crinkled One, Scruffy Bard, Aaron Owen, and Steven's Magic Castle. Thank you for your highest tier membership. Support the Nathan Napalm with super chats or by clicking join to become a member of Napalm on YouTube or by subbing or with bits on Twitch. Every dollar helps feed a puppet for a day and keep Nathan on the air. Thank you all so much for your support. Stream is starting soon. Oh.
It's the Nathan and Steve Show. Let's have a good time.
You have never seen a show like you're about to see today, folks. This is gonna get crazy. Who else is gonna tell you about the games? About the news that's news about the games?
Are you gonna listen to some boring other goobers? Why not trust these two YouTubers?
So we're having lots of fun. It's a good time talking about games.
The Nathan and Steve Show. 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 We'll tell you about games that are straight up fire and about some devs that are freaking liars.
So we learned our lesson about talking bad about Borderlands.
We sure did.
It's the Nathan and Steve Show. Let's have a good time.
No copyright music like Shania Twain, but we sure do talk about video games.
And we also like all kinds of things, so you might hear us say whatever's on our brains.
The Nathan and Steve Show. 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 Lots of games you need to play.
So we'll have a lot of freaking fun today.
With the nipple laser ray.
That's what they say. The Nathan and Steve Show, brought to you by the Nathan Napalm channel and our partners at Cringe Pony Television Network.
Welcome, everybody. We are live with yet another Nathan and Steve show. We're going to be bringing you all the gaming news, all this good stuff, everything we can dig up from around the entire internet. And, of course, we depend on you. If there's a story that we are not mentioning, you can talk about it in chat and let us know so we can look into it. I am joined here by the co-host, the one, the only, Steve.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name's Steve, and I beat Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I want to talk about that for a little bit before we get going here.
I like
because I don't think we'll be talking about it again probably for a while after this episode.
Probably not. I'm going to get up while you're talking. I'm going to get a little trailer going so we have a little something to watch while we're discussing this wonderful game.
All right, so Final Fantasy VII. So here's the thing that I got to know first. Are we talking spoilers? Are we about to talk spoilers a little bit here? Because I feel like I think it's time.
Maybe slight spoilers.
Slight? Ooh.
So,
okay.
Skip ahead, guys. Skip ahead about, I'm going to go ahead and guess, about 7 minutes ahead. And if you don't want to hear any spoilers. Like, we're not going to give away, like, the most juiciest of things, but we'll allude to things. How about that?
Allude, okay.
So if you know, you
gotcha.
know. Yeah.
So, first things first, before I say anything else, I just want to... What do you think... Does what happened to a certain character at the end of the original game, or in the original game, did that happen in this game? Did that actually happen in this game?
Okay, so I can explain this. We looked it up after I beat it live. I was like, let's look up what really smart people think about this, right? Because I had my own theory.
Yeah.
And then I looked it up. So... once I read this, I was like, this is exactly what it was trying to say, even though it's a little confusing unless you probably do it a few times and watch it, and you're like, oh, okay. So, Aerith exists in two different ways, and they were trying to show us, but it was just a little confusing. There's the white materia Aerith, and there's the clear materia Aerith, right?
Yeah.
So... when it would go back and show Zack and them, and Cloud was laying there asleep, right? That was the white materia Aerith, okay? Which is the Aerith. I'm trying to make sure I get this right. Which she ended up using Cloud, if you remember. She pulled him into her world, or whatever, how you want to say it, right? Because it did talk about, like, the reunion now means joining all the worlds into one, right? Sephiroth talked about that. So, Aerith did pull him into there because she wanted to give the white materia to the Aerith in Cloud's, our Cloud's, Rebirth's Cloud, into his timeline, okay? So, if you remember, she did give it to him, and then she shoved him as Sephiroth was walking in. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And then Cloud went back to his, but now he had that materia, okay? I don't know if I understand why that was important. I don't know if we're supposed to know, but I think that carries on into the next one. Also, the worlds did get destroyed. It would show them like in the blank, like Zack was like kind of in a blank world, Yeah. So I don't know if all the worlds have been reunited now, and now this one time line exists. I think that's what he's trying to say, because the reunion has already begun. Because Zack's kind of trapped. He even said, like, I wonder if there's a way we can, get back or whatever.
Yeah.
So what
that one part is so cool, by the way. I don't know if you know what I'm saying, but
I do know.
With the two of them. The two of them,
yeah. That was epic, dude. I got hyped about that. So what they've done here is basically, yes, the thing happened. The thing happened that you're thinking of. Yes, it absolutely did happen.
That's what I was leaning with, honestly, and honestly, like I saw where Mr. C there said a quote, "Great game, but the metaverse stuff left a bad taste in my mouth." For me, It actually did not.
So, okay, Go ahead.
And the reason why is because the whole time I've been playing these games, all the stuff that people are considering to be changes and stuff.
Sure.
Well, when the original game came out and we all played it back then, there was a lot of guessing going into figuring out what everything
and
meant.
theories.
You know what I mean? And nothing was like laid flat out, and there was a lot of like, well, maybe this means this. Sure. Like the original game could very well have been interpreted by somebody as what is being done with these remakes.
I agree, and a lot of it was actually. I went back and read the old, like, what did this mean, blah blah, and actually, a lot of people were dead on what's now being explained to us. Also, I want to mention that Final Fantasy VII is always. I don't like it, right? I'm a little tired of the whole metaverse thing. I'll get to why in a minute, and as long as Final Fantasy VII doesn't do this, I won't be too pissed. I'm just tired of it. You know, it can be used in a lazy way, right? And it has been lately, right? So it does. I don't like it. I could have done without it. But a couple of key points I made when I was streaming that I think are important is, number one, they remade the game. They're telling more story, and they're making characters that really didn't matter as much before now do, like Jessie, for example, right? Which changes a lot of things, right?
Dude, when you see her in the play, I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah, dude. I teared up when they showed them in the back after she sang, and you saw them all, like, high-fiving each other, like their spirits. Dude, I teared up. That was brutal for me. But
dude, that part where you go back and play through Aerith as a kid with her, what happened to her mom, dude, that was getting me hard, dude. I was like, this is brutal.
That was so sad. Like, they were, like, everybody's like ignoring her, and like they shoved her in the dirt and all that stuff, and she was having to watch this re-happen, you know, as an adult. Oh my gosh, it's brutal. But what I will say this is they didn't. So they had two choices by remaking this game and adding more to it. Okay. Say that the first game doesn't matter anymore. In other words, the original PS1 game is not canon anymore. This is what happened, right? They could do that, or they could take this path, which is that one still does matter. That did happen, but that wasn't this one, right? Like, this is things got changed here, right? So that way they can take their own path. So I can see why artistically they almost had to do a bit of a metaverse, right? As long as they don't make consequences not matter. In other words, oh, it doesn't matter that these people died because metaverse, they're back. You know what I mean? That's cheap.
I don't think they're going to do that.
I don't either. Because the way that they ended it with Aerith, speaking in a... Well, it's hard to say without any spoilers. The way they did the ending there insinuated that that is final, right? Like, things are... Some of these things, they're final. You know, that's what happened.
Yeah.
This is now, you got to live with it. It wasn't like you can pull me back from the metaverse. You know, it was none of that. It was, the conversations were very like, this is the way it is now, and that's okay. You know, we carry forward. You know.
Yeah, I think that I'm hoping that is how they stick with. I'm hoping they don't do all that nonsense, like bringing in people from other dimensions, basically,
so lame,
to replace them. Like, I don't want to Aerith from another dimension in my party in the next game, but. As long as they don't do that, like, I'm okay with it so far.
Yeah. And Square Enix, here's the deal. I'm glad this was set up to be a trilogy, right? Because if Square Enix, I'm going to be honest here, and I'm mostly a fan of Square. If they were left to their own devices, and they could make Final Fantasy VII relink memories of Gaia, you know, interlude and all this stuff, they would. And it would get crazy as hell. There would be like a cloud that was half Zack, and, you know, it would just get freaking stupid, right? Like, I hate to do this to the series, because the series is near and dear to a lot of people's hearts, pun intended. Kingdom Hearts got out of control, bro. Like, because they were just left to do whatever they want, right? They made all these spin-offs, and, I mean, I played all of them except for the latest one, Kingdom Hearts 3, which I just couldn't stomach it for some reason. And... I mean... Me neither. They do kind of make sense, but it is ridiculous. You know what I mean? It kind of makes sense, but it got so crazy and out of control. And that's what they would have done with this. Somebody had the foresight to be like, let's make a trilogy to keep things from getting too out of control.
Yeah, you know, so aside... Now that we got that little bit of spoiler talk out of the way, I don't think there's anything else I wanted to say that's necessarily a spoiler. wow, does this game have a lot of content though? Jeez,
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
I was at first going to try to do everything and then go beat the game, and then I started really realizing how much they're really. After I finished 2 full zones, right, or not zones, but like areas of the world. I was like, okay, this actually is going to take a long time, because then I started looking at all the new stuff, and I was like, I kind of want to beat the game before Dragon's Dogma comes out, so I'm going to go on with it and do it.
They designed the New Game Plus to work really well for you to just go back and finish up content, and then it seems really cool to do it that way. I think they knew that would happen. I actually think exactly what happened to you is exactly what they thought people would do, because I've went back and started finishing up content now. Like I finished up Gungaga and a couple other things, and like it's just enhancing the game now. You know what I mean?
Dude, the most of the content's pretty good. Oh, okay. So before you had said there was a part in the game you didn't like, but you were waiting for me to play the game. What was the part?
Kate Sith, when you had to play as him, dude, and that horrible box throwing where you had to hold like 5 different buttons. So bad.
Same.
Dude, my comments for that video that walks people through it, they just don't want to deal with it because I knew that would happen when I played it. I was like, yeah, I'm making a video right now. Screw this.
What
People are
in the middle of the gameplay do they change the controls of how to throw the box?
I know, dude. It's so dumb. It's so bad. And it
was
doesn't.
Like, why did it change?
Please patch that square before you release this on PC. Fix that. Please. It's so bad. There is no reason for it to be that complicated. Throw a stupid box. There's no reason for, like, leave the puzzles. I don't like fighting as Kate Sith, but that could just be me. But that's fine. It's his section. I got to learn to play as him for that section. That's fine, because everybody gets their moment. You know what I'm saying in this game? And that's his moment, and that's fine. I'll deal with that. But that box throwing is so atrociously annoying.
That was really the worst part of the game, I think.
My comments are just filled with people being like, bro, I was going to quit this game. I was going to quit. Like, this sucks. Filled with it.
I will say that I don't mind fighting as Kate Sith. I thought that was kind of a cool way to fight.
Once I realized that you need to put him on, like they need to be a pair, and you don't, you know what I'm saying? That helped, and it's not as bad anymore, which I put that in my video. Like, just get your ATB to 1 and then transform. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it's not that bad. It's pretty common to what everybody else is. Yeah, he's the boy.
Like throwing the dice with him. Those are pretty cool.
What's with Final Fantasy and terrible Kate Sith levels? I don't know. I feel like maybe they felt like it was part of the DNA and they had to do it. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? But aside from that, dude, I'll say this: when I played the first Final Fantasy VII back in the day, even though it like basically is the same deal with this character, the Red 13 character, man, I saw him in a different way in this game because I didn't really. I think where they made it to where he like has those 2 different voices.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Obviously wasn't happening in the original game, but he was doing that in the original game, like. So I don't know. It kind of made me see it. I never really thought about it that it was how young he really was, even though it tells you.
Yeah, in the original too. Yeah, but
I think they do a good job in this version of being like, look, here is this super young, almost like teenager aged type creature in its lifeline. And I don't know, dude. I really enjoy that character more, I think.
Yeah, it was a little awkward for people that came into chat when I was streaming it, and suddenly he was talking like that. And I remember people in chat being like, why does he sound so weird? I have to explain it. But I will say this about him. Obviously, he sounded cooler when he was trying to sound cooler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no doubt. But for the storyline, that made a lot of sense. And even though I knew that was his story, that he actually wasn't old, like he was 40-something years old, but for his race, that's like, really young. I knew that, right? And there was those parts where you would hear his voice, but it wouldn't show that it was him, and he'd be talking to Aerith because he opened up to her, so like he talked to her in his real normal voice. Do you remember that? And dude, even though I knew all that, I was still actually being like, wait, who the hell was talking to Aerith? Who was that? Like, what's going on?
Oh, yeah, I think it was on purpose, because it's not revealed to you yet.
Yeah.
And that was really throwing me off, and I was like, what the heck?
I thought there was going to be some new...
There, and I would be like, what, Red 13? Like, didn't even notice the guy was talking and stuff like that?
Right, yeah. So, they did a good job of pulling it off, for sure.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed. I enjoyed how they did all the characters. I think the Vincent stuff was really cool. I love that. Can't wait to see more of him
Don't
in the
worry.
next one.
DLC
What do you think
for
the
him
next
for
one's
sure,
going to be
bro.
like?
So I got a prediction, and I don't think I've said this before to you because I think I want to wait for you to beat the game. So we got the Yuffie DLC kind of thing with Intergrade. They're going to do that again for the PC release, and for PS5, those releases like a $10 pack or whatever. And it's going to be Vincent, and we're going to find out what all he was up to, a little bit, kind of like they did with Yuffie, but this time with Vincent.
Well, I hope we get to do his story where he turns into where he goes from Turk to.
That would be epic. That would.
I don't know if we'll get, or at least address it in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like maybe there even be some cutscenes about that.
They're trying to leave no stone uncovered with this character arc, so I think it's possible. Maybe not in the DLC. Maybe we won't find out till some kind of like story gets told in the third one or whatever. But I do believe we will get to learn everything about Vincent Valentine. He's a fan favorite too. He's a lot of people's favorite. So,
did he look so cool in it?
The nude mod DLC is definitely coming for the PC. Sure.
100%. Yeah.
Like I say, third day. Like launch,
what do you think the third game's gonna? What do you think the next game's gonna be about, though? Like, I know a couple of things that are definitely gonna be in the game, but I mean, I feel like there's gonna be some interesting stuff in this next chapter.
I read, and I'm not 100% sure this is confirmed, but I did read that somebody said the entire map, including what we've already been to, is going to also be in the third game and more.
Which makes sense.
Right.
Dude, the way how they did this game, I would not be surprised if in the third game you actually can fly around that world in a freaking airship.
There'll be an airship for sure. Knights of the
Round you actually fly around in it and everything, yeah.
Knights of the Round is going to be in it for sure. I think what it'll be like is there'll be like some new content added to some of these places we've already been, right? And there'll be more places we can go as it expands the map. And the new place will have the majority of the content, right? But I think they'll still add some stuff.
Will we still get the Wutai chapter? Will it still turn out that Yuffie actually is going to steal all our materia?
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I think so.
Like,
but maybe not.
I do too, but it's like the way how they do it keeps you guessing still, even though you know.
Yeah, because they do change some things, so you don't know for sure. And now that it's out in the open, right, about this really is a different crew, right?
Yeah.
Now they can do whatever they want. I think they'll still try to stay pretty faithful to the original, but some of these small details may change. I do think that hunting down the what are they called? The weapons. That's going to be a big chunk of the side content, in my opinion. For the
film. Yeah.
Her entire.
Do you think they'll do the whole? You think they'll do that whole rocket thing with Sid?
Yeah. I do. Yeah. That feels.
I have this weird feeling like Sid's going to be a big part of the early.
Yeah.
The early parts of the next game.
He'll be an actual playable character, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of like they did with, you could get Red 13 in your party last time in Remake, but you couldn't play as them. Now you can.
I would assume him and Vincent will be both playable in the next game.
Agreed.
You know what, dude? You know what I wish they would do in this game? And this is kind of out there a little bit. You know that one chick that's been in both the games and she's like pretending to be, she's trying to be a mercenary in this game and she has all that side content. She has like, she has like her own hilarious theme song that plays. That one where it lures the monsters and she's like, huh.
Yeah.
No wonder I'm not getting any customers. Dude, I wish that they just randomly made her a playable character, dude. She should join your party.
Dude, I think she's the most annoying character in the whole game.
Really?
Yeah, I did not like her at all. The whole time I was like, oh boy, I gotta do something with this crazy freaking lady again.
Dude, she cracks me up for some reason how horrible she is.
We did realize when you're doing that dog mission, do you remember that, where you gotta follow the dog?
Oh, you're talking about old Salmon?
Yeah. When you have to follow him, we did realize that the soundtrack they put there is literally saying like woof 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 and stuff. It's pretty
Dude, the music in the game is cracking me up, man. There's tons of custom made songs for that game.
Yeah, they went all out. Out.
I can't wait till the third one. I think it's going to conclude a masterpiece, basically, pretty much, in my opinion.
I think so, too. I'm excited about it. I had a lot of fun with the Rebirth, and I'm not even done with it, and we probably won't be actually done with it until the third one comes out, as far as, like, not wanting to play it anymore because it's great gameplay.
It's fun.
All right, what do we got up? What are we doing next here?
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, rest in peace.
Yep.
All right, let's see. The first thing that we got is I don't even know. Should we check this Outcast trailer out? I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, brand new trailer for something called Outcast: A New Beginning. Let's get that pulled up and see what is going on here.
Why do I have a feeling this is going to be something I don't care about? I guess we'll find out.
It probably will be, not be.
I better be careful because the people that make it might come after me. Ever since that Borderlands situation, I'm afraid.
All right, let me know when you're
ready. All right, I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, wait, all right, we got a guy with a gun and a shield.
We got no audio. We got no audio. Hang on. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. 1 second, guys.
Taco.
Support the Nathan Napalm with Super Chats or by clicking join to become a member of Napalm on YouTube or by subbing or with bits on Twitch. Every dollar helps feed a puppet for a day and keep Nathan on the air. Thank you all so much for your support. Stream is starting soon. Oh. Okay, we're back. We fixed it. We fixed the audio. All right. Ready, Steve?
Yep, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
Got a guy with a shield and a gun. This already looks like a game I probably won't play. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah.
Zed,
Not interested
spoke
yet.
to me.
It looks like a cheesy,
That's impossible.
crappy
What did you hear?
Dude, that's giving it too much credit, I feel like.
Do you hear me?
But maybe, I don't know, I haven't given it a fair shake yet. Let's see what we got here.
Oh, wait a minute. It's that one game.
No time to waste. My Dolotai Guardians have tracked the enemy ship. May the odds guide your fist, human.
Oh, it's like a generic Kmart version of Avatar.
I shall not influence the trial.
All the flying around, I'm like, okay.
Wait, why would I need luck?
They're like, in this game, you can fly around.
Did this say it was made by
excited about
THQ?
Yeah?
Oh, I thought they went out of business also. Are they back?
THQ Nordic, it says. I guess they're back.
Okay. Make some wrestling games, THQ.
Utter Slade returns. Is this a sequel?
Yes, they call
So
it
what?
Kizar.
I don't know.
Let him be strong enough to handle the truth.
Why are they saying Cutter Slade returns?
I know you. You're the problem.
I won't collaborate with humans who lie and deceive.
He was offended by that. I could tell by his facial expression.
They're coming.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever been in love, human?
You are not your fatherly ass.
We've made a mistake.
How dare you feed your lies to my daughter? You need to be
This is a sequel to a PC game from 1999.
Oh, weird. What was it called?
Outcast.
It's called Outcast? Huh.
Yeah, I didn't.
Well, they have a demo out, apparently, for it. And
Interesting.
It is THQ Nordic, so I guess they are back. There was an Outcast game, yeah, in the late 90s, early 2000s, yeah. Let's look
It
that
might
up.
be good.
I want to look up the original.
Yeah.
'Cause that
Send me a
might-
link when you find one.
I will. That might make us more interested if we can take a little gander at what it used to be.
Let's take a look into the past at what it once was.
So this says the first open world crafting game ever.
Back in 1999,
Okay.
the first...
Oh.
Hold up. I'm going to send you a link to this video real quick so you can follow this.
Alrighty.
Looks like this is going to be interesting, actually.
I'm ready for the juice.
Maybe this
I'm
isn't-
ready
Maybe it's just not...
for the
It's
juice.
not just a piece of crap random game getting shoveled out. This could be something interesting.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, do you got it?
Yeah, I got it.
All right.
Well, hold on. What the heck? Why is it doing this? Oh, I know.
I do think it looks better than an LJN game. I have to say, just let me play a little bit.
All right, I'm finally ready.
All right, let's watch this history of this game. 3, 2, 1, go.
Back in 1999, the first true open-world game
Whoa.
ever released came out. A little game called Outcast. Fast forward all the way to 2024, we have finally received its sequel. Outcast: A New Beginning. The first game got raving reviews across the world.
Maybe this
Tens
game
of
will be
thousands of
good. Who
people
knows?
played it. So with all that hype around the first game, I'm really curious if this new game lives up to that hype. Let me know if you happen to have played the first game before, and let me know if you think this game is worth it. Hit that sub button and smash the like. Let's get started. Excited to kind of dive deeper into this game. As just a quick explanation of the story thus far, I am essentially chosen by the gods. Oh god.
About the new one? Oh, it is.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, I
I
want to see
wanted to know about the OG.
I've been chosen by the gods.
Show us the OG.
I mean, this gameplay don't look bad, though, I gotta say.
No, I really don't. It really
Overheating,
don't.
not
It threw
good.
me off at first because they were featuring the flying around part so much that I was like, okay, do you just fly around all day?
Let's see. Here's a retro game trailer for this original game. Let's watch this.
Oh, from the olden years.
Yeah, I'm gonna post it in here. All right,
Let me just take a quick gander here.
let's watch
A
this
Gandalf, if you will.
OG trailer of Outcast
All right.
1999. Ready? 3,
Yep.
2, 1, go.
Dude, this music.
Dude, that's
I feel like a
99
Star Wars
retro.
Star Wars is about to happen.
I mean, this looks pretty good for 1999.
Yeah, dude, I would have been probably into this. I don't think I ever played this.
I do remember this, dude. I didn't play it, I don't think. But I do remember it now.
Really?
Yeah. Because I remember it because I remember thinking something along the lines of like, this game looks like it might be like a science fiction version of Morrowind.
Oh.
Now, I may not have heard about it when it first came out. I might have heard about it a couple of years later or something, but...
Okay.
Wasn't there even talk about this maybe coming to the OG Xbox?
I swear that you're right about that.
Yeah. Dude, that old man's the race that female was, I bet. That it showed the
Yeah, I think you're right, dude. I like those little chublets in the background. Dude, I feel like with this music, Sephiroth's about to show up.
What if he did?
He's in this game, too.
What if every game from now on had Sephiroth in it?
Because it turns out every game is part of their metaverse now.
Yeah, dude.
Sephiroth's traveling to all of them.
All of them, even Halo. Square made a deal with every game publisher that includes Sephiroth. Every game.
That'd be hilarious, dude. He's like showing up in the new Princess Peach game. And he's like, don't worry, it's not death. It's, what did they say? What was that old saying they kept saying?
Homecoming?
Yeah, it's not death, it's a homecoming.
This looks kind of cool.
Yeah, it really doesn't look bad, actually. It's like Mos Eisley Cantina, the game.
So I do want to say, notice how back in these days when you showed a trailer, it showed gameplay. This is like almost all gameplay.
Yeah.
Alright, so there's that.
And that was the official trailer. Crazy.
So I want to say this.
Outcast.
Just because it's based on an old game that was cool that people liked back then.
Doesn't mean that it's not a true story.
Doesn't mean that it's going to be anything like that with a brand new game made by a brand new team of people, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's... If they can pull off that it feels like an actual open world adventure and not a chase after the things on your map, your GPS, and knock out a bunch of things and, you know, and that's it. And then we're also going to give you so many of them that it feels actually impossible and wear you out to where you won't even want to play the game at all anymore, you know. And we don't get that Assassin's Creed type open world content. It has a possibility of being decent. Chances are, though, it's probably going to suck, unfortunately. You know?
Yeah.
It's probably
That's the safest bet, honestly.
the safest
too.
bet is it's going to suck, and it probably will.
But who knows? Maybe it'll come out and people will go crazy about it, and we'll be like, "Whoa, maybe we should check it out."
Yeah,
who knows?
I'll watch it. I'll keep my eye on it. You know. You
never know.
It could be a diamond in the rough. You know.
A diamond in the rough.
The next one
That
we got
was for the kids.
Wild Bastards.
This is a random.
This is
Or more than 3 days ago.
All right.
Hey, I got a quick question for you that isn't urgent or anything, but do you know if in Discord can you change the default browser that it launches?
I think it does whatever you've set as your default browser on your computer.
Okay.
So I think if we change that, it will change that, I think. I could be wrong.
All right, let's take a look. I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Wild Bastards, here we are.
Or more than 3 days ago, I was in the cold ground before the rest of them wild bastards yanked me from the dirt.
Oh, that's not where I thought this was going.
Right, partner.
Oh, wait a minute. Kind of like the graphics.
Man, it's kind of cool.
I like cell shaded.
How is it that a cloud of vapors can be dead and buried in the first place? I may not have a body in the classical sense, but Chase still found
This is like a space western, I guess.
Yeah.
Shooter.
But now old Kaboom is back. Chase ain't got much liking for us folk, being as we're a mite peculiar.
You're might kill you.
They don't fancy our sort anywhere around these parts.
You got no hope, freak!
This'll all be over soon, though, seeing as we're making our way to the homestead. If we can get there. Reckon we'll do all right, though. After all, we's the wild bastards.
I'm down with the music you're playing this trailer, by the way. Okay. So, I do feel like this game has a touch of the, a little bit aggressive touch of the indie syndrome, you know?
Yeah.
Which is a turn off for me, you know?
I could get into a space western, but I don't know. No, I don't. That ain't it.
Yeah, shooter's not a big fan of. What's up with this weird map where you move to like another location or something? Is that just like the level design?
I guess so.
That looks kind of dumb to me. Graphics though on the shooting looks fine. It's just I just don't care. You know what I mean?
I don't either.
If it's multiplayer, that would help. That would.
You're gonna make
help.
a game called Wild Bastards. It better be good, man.
Better be good. I
want there to be a popular western called Wild Bastards. That's actually a good game. I want that to be a thing, but unfortunately, no.
I don't think this is it.
You know, dude. You know what I would really like to see. And I know this is a little off topic, but hey, that's what we do around here. So the Red Dead Redemption games are awesome western games. Everybody knows. But I would really love to see like a game kind of done like Red Dead Redemption, but it was like full on like spaghetti western. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just full on over the top spaghetti western style. Like I just think that would be awesome.
That would
Red Dead's a little bit more. It almost feels a little more realistic compared to a spaghetti western. You know what I mean?
I agree with
like
that.
It almost feels more. I don't know.
Gun was a good game. Grendel Reaper just mentioned.
Yeah, that was a good game back in the day.
That was good, but it didn't continue, I guess, which is weird.
Like, dude, turn the good, the bad, and the ugly into an open world Western RPG, and I'm sold.
Yeah, and another thing while we're on this subject, and I don't know how many people in chat will agree with me on this particular subject, but I'd also and I know they are working on a new. I think it's a spiritual successor. Yeah, it is. They're making a new spiritual successor to Wild Arms, which is cool. But can we do a little more of that? Can we do a little bit more of the weeby anime Western kind of stuff? That'd be cool too.
Yeah, that would be. I every once in a while just get in the mood to play Wild Arms 3 because it's the most Western game like that. Like anime Western game of all time.
Yeah, I would.
And something about that one, they went all out on the Wild West cheese in that one.
Yeah, I loved it.
I love that
It's
one.
a good time, and it felt unique. You know, it felt different, but still felt like an RPG, and I liked it a lot. I thought it was super cool.
Man, I haven't heard anything lately about that new Wild Arms game, but
Let's see if there's any.
what's it called? Armed something?
Um,
Is it called Armed Fantasia for
I
some
think that
reason?
is
I don't
it.
know, man.
I think that is it. Yeah, Armed. Yep, Fantasia with an F. Let's see if
Yeah,
there's anything
to the end
there.
of the wilderness.
There's an interview here. That's a year old, so no. So it looks like this. So if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, oh, here's one from 3 months ago. So they did give an.
Can we just
update.
watch a trailer for that real quick?
Yeah, this is an update, which is also showing gameplay. So let's check this out.
Drop me a link there.
This is only from 3 months ago, so I haven't seen it.
Okay.
This game looks cool.
Yeah, that's newer than
So,
anything I've heard.
If I'm remembering correctly, it has some of the same people that made Wild Arms on the team.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's a lot of people from the team.
And it's like their spiritual successors since they don't own the rights. All right, let me know when you're ready. We'll watch this.
I keep having to send the links over to Google Chrome because...
Trigun.
Anyway, I got it ready.
Sunset Riders was awesome, dude. I played that on the Retro Night one time. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Armed Fantasia and Pennyblood November.
Dude, these
update.
games always
As
have the
let's
coolest-
start with
they have
Armed
awesome
Fantasia.
soundtracks.
It's definitely the smaller of the two.
Cool,
updates
like
this
spaghetti
month.
Western style
Armed Fantasia
music,
mostly goes
usually.
into the difficulties that go into making storyboards for the game and how a balanced approach must be taken so game designers aren't overwhelmed further into development, and that
Okay.
way things won't need to be.
We
cut
know what a
quite so
storyboard is,
much.
okay.
Gootsland
I know, like,
and
come on,
elephant-type
dude.
anomaly is also shown.
I like that
and
monster. It's
other
cool looking.
areas of the game, such as
Dude, this game's gonna be
towns,
awesome when it finally
scenario,
comes out,
and
I
battle
hope,
UI
because I love
are
these-
all having
these,
steady
like, anime
progress
Western
made through those
games.
areas.
Yeah, I think this is
Aside
going to be a
from
good
that,
one.
that's about all.
I'm a
for
big fan
Armed
of
Fantasia
the Wild
this
Arms
month.
series
The real
anyway.
update
And look
is
at it,
for
dude, turn-based.
Pennyblood. First,
Oh,
is
no,
the
dude, it actually
surprise
looks really
reveal
cool.
of
Well, what in the
Pennyblood
world?
Hellbound.
What's this?
It's a roguelike
It's a
companion
different game
title
called
that's
Hellbound?
also a prequel and features
Oh. It's a
Pennyblood's
prequel.
villains, the Hellhounders.
Oh, they're releasing
as
a
the main
prequel.
characters. A
Oh,
companion
that-
game is
okay.
great. Eiyuden Chronicle Rising has shown us that. But this announcement comes with some bad news too, unfortunately. Pennyblood's development has to be slowed down.
Oh, no.
Due to their inability to find a publisher. In short,
Oh, no
they're
publisher.
almost out of money. There are
Nobody will
contingencies
publish
the
this game?
developers are exploring at the moment to keep development going, but they weren't
I mean,
disclosed in the update.
I can
The
understand
hope is
this
the
game
companion
having
game
trouble
being
getting a publisher.
developed
Seems
by
like
Natsume Atari
Armed Fantasia
will do well
wouldn't.
enough to secure a deal
Yeah.
with a publisher in the future.
What are you doing,
So
Square?
going
Grab it up.
forward, the
Give 'em some
updates
money.
will focus largely on the companion
Yeah.
game if development
Or
of
Sony
Pennyblood pauses.
Sony hadn't released a
New
damn
concept
RPG in
art of
forever.
the
How about
monster
Sony?
Isol
Pick it up.
in Pennyblood was shown.
Dude,
and
'cause Sony won't do a new
appears
Wild
in
Arms, this is why
several
this is even
European
happening.
folklore
Yeah.
tales.
Well,
Concept
this is
art
a
of the
lazy man's way to
castle,
get a new
forgive my
Wild Arms, you know?
pronunciation here.
Give it the real.
Sources
You know what'd be cool? I'm
Rosen
gonna pause it
in
right here.
Germany.
You know what'd be cool?
Okay.
Is if they bought it and just said, give it the real title. It's a Wild Arms game. You know?
Yeah, that would be
Here
actually
you go.
awesome.
Now you got the rights to it. Go ahead. Make it a Wild Arms game. Then, ooh, that'd be epic.
Was completed
I can't
too,
believe we have.
and the
It's been so
songstress
long since we've
vampire
gotten one.
resides here when
But
our
dude,
main
Sony's
party
sleeping on all their
goes to
best
investigate.
RPG
Clara,
titles
the
for
main
some reason. I
character
don't know
of the
why.
It's what
prequel
Sega
game,
did,
is
and
given
they didn't
some
work out
art
for
too,
'em.
and she's described as a character that was too crazy.
Sega's over there still
to
sleeping
appear
on Skies
in
of
the main
Arcadia.
game.
Like, come on, man.
And
And that's pretty much it.
some
for the
people argue
update.
with me,
It's a
but
darn
they're
shame
also sleeping on their
that
freaking,
Pennyblood hasn't been able to find a publisher yet.
Fantasy Star.
They very
I
much
know they got the
say
MMO.
The hope is
That's
Oh,
still
yeah,
sleeping on it.
definitely.
Where's the
Game
single
does
player
well
RPG?
Like, make a
enough to get
standalone
publishers
game.
on board
Yeah.
and
Come on.
actually helping.
What are you
develop
thinking?
the main
Well,
game.
it turns
They
out
sound
most of this video is
hopeful
showing
that
this other game
production
that I
of the
did.
main
I'm
game
not
will-
interested
the
in.
hope isn't
Yeah.
lost yet. Anyway,
I'm
it's
interested in this
definitely
one.
the smaller of the two updates.
But it sounds like they that's a big project. Costs a lot of money to do the Armed Fantasia, and so the Pennyblood game, they're trying to get that done because they can do it for cheaper, and they're just running out of money. They're hoping the
Yeah.
Pennyblood would fund Armed Fantasia because they thought Armed Fantasia with the trailer would get a publisher. It didn't. Now they're trying to make this Pennyblood game to try to make the money so they can afford to make Armed Fantasia. So it sounds like it's a freaking mess. So we may or may not ever get this game, it turns out. That sucks.
Yeah, it really does. And like what Grando Reaper just said, Legend of Dragoon. That is one of the games I'm talking about. Legend of Dragoon. Like, what in the world?
Such a cool world.
Do something with that.
Such a cool everything. Just so unique and awesome. Has there ever been a game with the word Dragoon in it that wasn't awesome, by the way? I feel like they're all awesome. You got Dragoon in the name, it's probably pretty
I'm trying to think of another game that has that in the title.
Well, I'm specifically, obviously, thinking of Panzer Dragoon, but that's another one that Sega's sleeping on.
Is there another one outside of those games?
There's that one Dragoon game on the Super Nintendo that was good. The strategy game.
I don't know that one, I don't think.
I think it was just called Dragoon, and that was a good one.
I'm thinking about that game Bahamut Lagoon was a strategy game.
I might have got confused. That might be what I'm thinking of. Actually, I think
that never came out in America, man.
Yeah, yep. I think the only way to play
it was pretty cool.
Emulator.
It was a good one.
Turn-based is dead outside Japan. Disagree. Turn-based is not dead. Dragon Quest sold like crazy in the U.S.
Yeah, dude, and another awesome turn-based game that does all right. That
Persona.
I don't think a lot of people give this game a fair shot, but they should because it is amazingly good. Are those the Yakuza Like a Dragon games?
Yeah, those sell good too. And Baldur's Gate 3. Turn-based. Turn-based is still actually the best sellers. Developers just want to move past it, even though the fans aren't over it yet. That's the problem. The fans aren't over turn-based. The developers are. They want to do action. They want to do this, that, and the third. And what's happening is like, it started out like, let's make ours an action game. We'll be different. Yeah. Now it's like, okay, it's action again. That's not special. You know what I mean? Everybody's trying to do it.
Yeah. That's yeah, it's everybody.
And what was the one that just released? Octopath Traveler. There's another turn-based that freaking sold, ripped the shelves off in the sales, turn-based sells. The problem is that the developers don't want to make those games anymore. And it's to their own profit loss.
And the Persona games, the whole Shin Megami franchise universe, or whatever you want to call it. The Shin Megamis and the Personas, that's all turn-based combat, and those are super popular now, too.
Stupid popular, yeah. Yeah, I'm 1,600 hours into Baldur's Gate 3, so I guess I like turn-based. Yeah, turn-based is good, man. It's the strategy.
If the game's good,
yeah,
then, and the combat is good turn-based combat, then it's awesome.
It's just fun, man. And it feels... The thing that's really... There's a type of freedom that comes with turn-based that you can't get in other combat systems, and it's this situation. And I know there's some turn-based where it's timed, etc., right? But for the most part, generally speaking, turn-based... You can chill. You know what I mean? Like, you can just chill. You can sit there and think about it for a second, right?
Yeah, you can, come up with a strategy.
Yeah.
You can, plan it. You know what I mean? It's different than on the fly, in your face, nonstop action. It's a different kind of experience, really.
It feels good,
yeah, I enjoy it. It's awesome.
You can just be, you can, get in combat, right? And then just go make a sandwich and come back. That is awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. And also being able to, one hand, move through the menus and select your attack and all that kind of stuff while you're eating the sandwich. That's awesome. What's wrong with that? Why is that bad? And also easier to develop. Easier to develop. I just don't get it. Do more turn-based. That's what we want.
I wouldn't mind for there to be, a bunch of cool turn-based games come out.
That would be epic, dude. We get some, so I'm not complaining. But, we lost another one to Action Combat, bro. We lost one because the next Dragon Quest is Action Combat.
Is it really?
Yep. Let me make sure I'm correct, but I remember that. Might have been
Dang,
it might have been a rumor. It might have been a rumor. Hang on. Let me double check.
That would be crazy.
This would be Dragon Quest 12, right? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, no. Okay. I'm assuming that, okay? Because it says they did confirm, this is what I remember, that its new combat system is different. Yeah, they've made changes, and everybody assumes that they're probably going with action combat.
Interesting. Guess we'll have to wait and see. Doesn't mean I won't enjoy it, but
Yeah, I'll play it no matter what because Dragon Quest games.
I mean,
are
like
fun.
for a great example, Final Fantasy XVI. I actually had a blast with that game, and I wasn't really angry that they changed the combat over it or anything. It felt right for that particular entry. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, this came from Yuji Horii. Probably saying his name wrong.
What'd you just call me?
He says, "Hello, my name is Yuji Horii. I don't know how to say his name, guys. I'm doing the best I can. The Dragon Quest series is finally celebrating its 35th anniversary. I'd like to thank all the fans who supported Dragon Quest for so long and all the many staff members who've been involved in the project. Thank you very much. We've officially announced our latest title, Dragon Quest XII, The Chosen Fate of the Flame. And this time, I would like to talk about the recruitment of new development staff for 12. The previous title, 11, The Search for Time Gone By, was the culmination of the series, a tale of the heroes. It could be played on hardware, PS4, 3DS, Switch, Xbox, PC, in 2D or 3D. That in itself was a new challenge, but with Dragon Quest XII, we're taking it even further. I've already said it, but I'll say it again. First of all, the command battles of the past will be completely redesigned. How we will do it is still a secret, but we have already made a prototype, and while playing the game with the staff, we are convinced that it will be a lot of fun. The story is finished, and all we have to do now is to implement it, but it is a big game, so it will take some time to complete, but if you apply for the new development staff position, you'll be able... he's trying to hire during this. You will be the first to see the new Dragon Quest, or rather, you will be able to create it with us. So, there you go.
Grando Reaper said it's a mobile game. Is that true?
Oh my gosh.
That would be so lame.
That would not go over well.
I would be so mad. I would be actually mad.
Hang on a second.
I like Dragon Quest.
I thought that they had already announced like a console or something, but let me check.
Dragon Quest, why you gotta do me like that? Please don't be mobile. I'm like having to stop and try to research it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. That's a scary thought that I'm terrified because they had.
I don't think that. There's no way, right? There's no way they'll do that.
They did get all the Dragon Quests on mobile except for like 11, I think. So that kind of lines up. And then he was like, "Oh, we're taking it even further. You could play on 3DS before. We're taking it even further."
Dude, I hope they do my favorite part of Dragon Quest 11 and Dragon Quest 12. I hope it's in there again. And that is the hilarious accents in the game.
In which game?
In Dragon Quest 11.
Oh yeah.
Like every town that you go to in that game is like the culture in the town is like sort of based on a real culture around the world. So they all will have accents relative to that, like with that one place that's like the Italy.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "Oh, come on and help me!
Yeah.
There's something a goblin kidnapping my wife." And you're all, like, everybody's talking like that. Dude.
It is true.
Dude, the game cracks me up, dude.
So it is
super fun.
It's doubtable it's coming to. This is definitely a console like this gen or in PC because it is being made in Unreal Engine 5. So
Dude, I am excited for that day. It's probably a ways off, though. Probably a ways off.
That Ni
So
no
what do we
Kuni
got
game,
next here?
That Ni no Kuni game was a piece of trash.
The second one?
The one on PC. No, I didn't like the second one.
Oh, the PC one.
I thought it was. I thought the second one was okay. It just, you know.
Yeah, that was that mobile game one. I was really hoping that would have been cool, but obviously it was not going to be when it was a mobile game that was free to play.
I am pulling it up right now, just a screenshot, just to
nothing so far beats the first Ni no Kuni. That is where it's at. Ni no Kuni and the Wrath of the White Witch. That game was awesome.
That one felt special, actually. It felt like
it really did.
Really,
that was such a cool game. The second one felt. There's things I didn't like about it. Let's just put it like that.
Look at this. Look at this piece of trash right here. I'm about to pull up.
What we got?
Let me find it. Let me find a screenshot. Show me a real screenshot. Don't show me this stupid nonsense.
That's Cortez Williams' house right there.
Are these screenshots from it? Yeah, this is it. Look at that. Look at this piece of trash on mobile. And guess what? Ni no Kuni mobile game breaks $100 million faster than Pokemon Go. So they're getting rewarded for it. That's what sucks.
Yeah, it really does. Like, people need to stop. Thanks a lot, cell phones.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot. Smartphones. We were a better society when we just had flip phones that didn't have all the smartphone features.
Smartphones, go screw yourself. You ruin gaming, and I hate you for it.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what? I miss the days where if somebody wanted to call you, they had to call your house. If you didn't answer,
I
they assumed
miss
you
that
weren't
too,
home.
man. I'll go ahead and tell you right now, dating was a lot better in that
It was
timeline.
way better. It was so much better, dude. It was so much better. Everybody has to know where you're at. Your job has to know where you're at all times.
Yep.
Your girlfriend, wife has to know. I guess it's not as bad when you're married. You kind of ask for it. But like when you got a girlfriend, she has to know where you're at all times. You have to be ready to answer a text at any moment on a moment's notice. If it goes 10 minutes pass by, somebody's feelings are hurt. You know what I mean? It's so
dude. It's I'm over it, dude.
I set
can't
up a
stand
culture which I'm about to go back and work for, so I'll have to quit doing this. But I'd set up a culture where I told all my family and everybody, like, guys, I don't even have my phone on me all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just leave it laying in bed. So if I don't answer you, it's because I don't have to have a phone for my job anymore. You know what I mean? So I'll get back to you when I get back to you. And they all got really used to it. You know, like they send me a text, and I answer them back a week later. You know what I'm saying? Because I just hate it. And most of my job, or most of my family agrees. Like, it's annoying. You know what I mean? Like, we don't like this crap either. So, but it sucks.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got next? We got Empire of the Ants.
Dude, I got a feeling this is going to be the winner.
This could be
This is going to be the secret winner.
This could be
Product
cool.
not yet rated.
All right.
Let's see what we got here.
Let me know when you're ready.
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, let's check this out. This could be cool. There's something about being a tiny creature fighting like giant spiders and stuff. You know what I mean?
And dude, I've just been waiting for somebody to make a game. Like how I'm this might be like a weird part of me, and maybe not a lot of people would think this was cool, but I would love to play it like a big, huge, like open world game where you're playing as some kind of little insect.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Cool.
Like it would be cool if it was done really well.
Yeah, I think we all probably. I'm going off of me, but I'm going to assume that I'm not the only one. When you're a little kid and you had some little toys, and you go outside in the grass, and you pretend like the grass was like a jungle or something. You know what I mean? Like the grass leaves were big trees. And you know what I'm saying? You might have a little toy that like was fighting, maybe you run across a real bug in the grass and you pretend like it's a creature, you know. I just feel like that is just like how your imagination likely started budding as a child. And it just, that coolness of that, just, I feel like it never goes away. You know, it's still cool today. All right, you ready to watch this?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Product not yet rated.
Actual in-game footage, and it's Unreal Engine 5.
Dude, maybe this is gonna be the one that I've been waiting for my whole life.
Oh, those ants look good, dude.
Dude, look how sweet that actually looks.
Wow.
Please let this be a cool game.
I thought I was watching the Discovery Channel for a second there. There he goes.
Oh, heck yes, dude. This is exactly what I was saying I wanted.
This looks really
dude,
good,
I'm in. I'm all in on this game.
I think I'm in. Oh! Aren't those stink bugs?
They're not stink bugs.
Reproducing bugs.
Remember when those things infested your truck in high school?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, look at that butterfly.
Oh,
cool, man. Dude, I'm actually super pumped about this game. I just gotta say, this looks awesome.
Oh, look at that spider.
Oh, crap. Look, a war's going on.
Oh, snap, dude.
Other colonies you might end up in a battle with.
Whoa, look at this, dude.
Look at those beetles. Dude, this looks incredibly cool. Look at that snail.
He tossed that ant. Please keep coming. Wow, look at this.
Dude, this is going to be actually pretty cool, I think.
Dude, what's cool about a game like this is you could take like a typically small amount of terrain, but when you're shrunk down this size, it would feel massive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Dude, I'm definitely going to keep my eyeballs on that one.
I've got to agree with Mr. C on this one. That has to be in the game. At least at some point, a kid trying to kill you with the magnifying glass. It has to be in the game. It's too iconic, you know?
That would be hilarious.
There's got to be a part where
it all just depends. I would be okay if there wasn't humans, like if it's deep in the forest, but I would also be okay if there was humans. That game's kind of giving me the vibe like there's not going to be any humans at all.
But maybe that's what they want you to think. And then
that's true. That's true.
That you're just like on the edge of some small little forest area.
Dude, that would be awesome.
The suburbs.
You're in Central Park in New York.
Yeah, dude, they could do that.
Yeah, dude, that would be actually awesome.
That'd be like a crazy
That reminds
twist.
me. So, you know, the last Bug game that came out that I liked.
Okay.
That I'm actually kind of a fan of this game, and I know it has a little bit of a cult following. I'm going to drop a trailer for this game in here so we can watch it.
Okay.
It was on the Nintendo Wii only, but it was awesome.
What was it?
It's called Deadly Creatures, and I own a copy of this game still. I love it.
All right, let's check that out.
This game is fantastic, dude.
It's on the Wii, the original Wii?
It's on the Wii. It was on the original Wii, and it's freaking awesome. It has like a crazy storyline and everything, dude. It's freaking cool.
Deadly Creatures. All right, let's pull this up. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
I had a lot of fun with this game. I still play it every once in a while. I like this one.
Creature feature, tarantula. Fighting for territory, I bet. Oh, snap, is that a snake? Oh,
yeah, snake's in one of the boss fights.
Oh, geez. There's no way that tarantula can win. Dude. Cool.
See, that trailer only shows the tarantula, but you're actually going back, and when you play the story, you're going back and forth between a tarantula and a scorpion, right?
Okay.
Dude, the game is actually pretty cool, man.
That looks cool, yeah. I wish I would have known about it back then. I probably would have played it.
Dude, it's if you ever randomly are have the ability to, it's kind of worth going back and playing. That's a cool one, man.
Crab Fight is the best animal game.
Oh, I haven't played Crab Fight, but I was interested in it.
I've heard some good things.
Crab Fight. But yeah, dude, that Empire of the Ants, dude, I'm excited. That looks kind of really cool.
Ray tracing is the most important part of an Ant game. I thought the game footage looked great, and it does match up with what we've seen with Unreal Engine 5 is capable of. It wouldn't shock me, if the game releases it ain't quite that high in fidelity, right? But it doesn't need to be. It just needs to look cool,
Yeah.
That'd be fun, though. That's a good idea, and I like it. I like you're a tiny creature. I love it. It just makes everything more grand and epic. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm not going to lie. Every once in a while, one of these types of games comes out, and they usually suck. But... Yeah. I like the idea of like a well-done game where you're playing as any kind of real-life animal or creature out in the wild. Like, that could be really cool when done right, you know what I mean? Right.
Yeah, I agree. Especially if you keep it, like, that's the kind of game I'd like to keep it a little bit more realistic. You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, like, keep it realistic.
Yeah, like, don't make aliens show up, and...
Right.
Like, some weird plot line like that. Like, keep it down to earth, All right, I did want to talk about this real quick. I don't really have anything to pull up, so we're just going to talk about it. I did want to talk a little bit about Pantheon's NDA is down. So, Pantheon's development has been what you might consider quite a secret over the past freaking almost decade, right? Finally, they're at a point where they're feeling confident enough that they're going to have new content out with each season every 6 months. That they just opened it up. Like, if you've got access to the game, you can stream it, you can play it, you can make videos, you can do whatever you want, right? No going through Visionary Realms, get permission, you just play it, you stream it, you talk about it, you make videos, it doesn't matter. For them to make that decision means that they must be confident that they're going to be rolling out content because it's all going to be in the public's eye now, right?
Yeah.
So the public is going to hold them accountable, number one. And to get additional funding now, it's not like you're joining this top secret club anymore, right? To get inside information. So now you're joining in order to play in the season, right? Or you don't have to pay to know what everybody else knows. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
So now they have to sell Pantheon's pledge packages and pre-orders, or whatever you want to call it, based on the merit of what the game offers, which is pretty big.
So what do we think? What do we think? Where's this game going to end up going by the end?
I foresee current trajectory that in about 3 years, roughly 2.5 years, 3 years or so, that this game will be in a launch-ready state for Visionary Realms. I think that maybe a non-indie company maybe wouldn't consider it that at that point. You know what I'm saying? But I think that they will. It'll be... Their priorities are laid within it being really addictive and fun, that all the classes work and they're addictive to play, right?
Right.
That is the core of what Pantheon is right now. It's just fun to play the classes. Super fun. And you get addicted, and then you go back and you play another MMO, you realize there's not that complexity there. And it makes you want to go back and play Pantheon where it is there. You know what I mean?
What would you compare it to of older MMOs?
I would have to compare it mainly to Vanguard Saga of Heroes.
Okay.
Because it does feel like that. But I would say that there was a lot of things in Vanguard that are way better done in Pantheon. Class design was great in Vanguard. And I hate, it's hard to say stuff like this, but I think the class design is shaping up to be way better in Pantheon. It's just, they got a perfect kind of flow of having to manage things on the fly and or make strategic decisions with just the right amount of time for you to do it. You know what I mean? It's not like you have to have lightning fast reflexes, right? But in the intensity of the moment, it's easy to mess up. The intensity
of the moment.
Yeah. It's easy to click the wrong thing or forget that you could have done that, and then bad things happen, and you immediately, your brain, just like playing Elden Ring, right? Your brain immediately is like, you fucked up. You should have did this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's fun, and it's really addictive.
Like, similar to the comparison between turn-based games we were having earlier.
Yes. I feel like this is the epitome, the absolute top of the line for tab target MMOs. This is like when Square Enix announced the action time battle system, and it was like the ultimate for turn-based. You know what I mean? I feel like now it's not there all the way. Pantheon's not all the way there. It's still half-baked, etc. But that part of it, that one part of it, feels great. They're nailing it. It's hard to judge them on a lot of other things. Sound and audio, insanely good. Best in the business. They hired just that PVL team they hired to do their audio and music and atmospheric sounds and all that is breathtaking, right? Like, it's just unbelievable. Like, when I realized that when it rained, it had different sound effects depending on how hard it was raining. And then I realized when I went under a tree, I could literally hear the rain hitting the leaves above me. That sound you hear when you're in rain outside and you go under a tree.
Grando Reaper's got a pretty interesting question, I think. What won't be in the game on release? Housing, pet taming, swimming?
I bet you housing will definitely not be in it. I know that's something that they've already got planned, but I know that's not important to the key core of what this game is. So I would 100% think that's not going to make it at launch. Pet taming, to a certain degree, I think it will be in the game. Will we be able to do that full system of, like, you can go out and you can tame an animal and ride it, and they have different specs, and, maybe the same horse here, you get that horse over here, but it has a different spec, so it runs a little faster. This one can sprint for longer, and this one, I don't think all that's going to make it. a more basic form of that, yes, and they make it more complex over time. I could see that. That feels very possible. Maybe no mounts for the first bit. I could see that, right? Like, we don't need mounts immediately. We'll need them eventually. I could also see them toning down how many zones the game has at the beginning. Like, leaving kind of like World of Warcraft did, where there'd be sections of the map you couldn't go to, right? And then later they launched those areas. Then we got new zones to go to. You know what I mean? I could see that being a thing as well. I do think they'll get swimming in, but... I think it'll get better over time, right? I think they're not going to leave that out, but I think there'll be a lot of places where, like, the underwater gets cooler over time. But I think they'll launch with at least one underwater dungeon. At least one.
I would really love to see an MMO, like Pantheon, for example, like that style of combat and everything, that kind of world. Get housing like UO style, man. Like a game, I want to see that again one day.
Yeah.
Where, like, you buy, like, a housing plot for your house or whatever, and you can just put your house where you want it to be.
Yeah.
Like, I really like that. I don't, like, now more games are starting to come out where you have to actually sit and build the house, like, survival style,
Sure.
but I don't want to have to build the house, really. I want to be able to, like, lay down a house. There it is. Then I get to decorate it with all my in-game trophies and furnitures and things like that. I want to actually live in the world.
And I'd be okay. So I'm not,
as cheesy as that sounds.
I'm not as big about the building part of it either. But if someone did want to include it, because I think a lot of people really do like that, I would like it to be a good enough community where I can pay somebody in-game gold and they'll build the house for me. You know what I mean? Like, I gather the supplies for them, you know what I mean? Because I don't mind farming the supplies. I don't mind any of that. It's the actual building of it, because I'm just not an architect by any stretch of the imagination, right? I tried to, one day, sometimes I think I am for some reason. I think I can do stuff that I can't do. So one day I was like, I'm going to make a couch for downstairs. I really thought I could. I went and bought the lumber. I bought all the stuff. I bought some leather to go over the top of it. I was going to build a couch, I thought, right? So I make this thing, okay? That's the only thing I know how to call it. I make this thing. And then I realize, oh my gosh, it's like so far up in the air where you sit down at that, like, you can't even get to it. You know what I mean? You got to, like, hop up to get up on to sit down because I made it too far up. So I was like, well, that's okay. I'll build like a step, you know, that steps you up into the couch, right? Like a little stoop where you can rest your feet, you know? Maybe I'll put some little cup holders in there or something, you know?
Do you still have this thing?
I do. I'll tell you what it is now.
You need to take a picture of this thing and show it to us.
So anyway, it kept going. I kept having to add things for this thing to even be something that makes any sense. And it's just this contraption that we use as a thing that we lay our arcade thing on. It's got like 4-player arcade thing, and we put a screen in front of it to hide the back of it. Like, it's just it probably weighs like 400 pounds. It's awful. I just don't build. I'm just not a builder. I want to be, but I'm not. And it translates into games too. I just can't do it. I just don't like it.
It's for me too. I will say this: some MMO needs or other survival games that are like MMO style or whatever. For us simpletons out there, they need to adapt or adopt the style of building that is in that game, Pal World, because it is super simple. It's the only one I've ever played where I'm like, okay, I can actually get into this kind of building because it's not over the top, or like it's not super meticulous. It's pretty simple, and that I did like about that game.
Does your base completely suck?
Okay. I'm looking at it now. People are building.
What, the Pal World building? Yeah, dude, it's super easy to do.
Yeah,
in that game,
that's what I need.
Like, you don't have to do brick by brick or none of that stuff like that. It's like you put up a wall here and here.
Yeah, I'm watching them do it now. This seems like the style most people are going for these days, right? From what I played, anyway. Or he's just laying them down by tile. Yeah. Which I think if anybody
it
did
works
one,
really well in this game.
if they did one this complex, I would assume this would be similar to what somebody would do. You know what I mean? I think though, I don't think Pantheon will ever have this style. I think it'll have like a rental. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind of like EverQuest 2 would be the best I could see, which they're going to use. They've already said that they're going to use the tech from Castle Deviere, or I'm sorry, not Castle Deviere, from the tower you used to go to for the when they did the extraction mode for a few weeks. They said that things they built from that are going to end up being used for housing in the game. So we'll see how all that turns out. But I could assume like there'll be a wizard tower, right? Maybe a few of them, and your wizard tower is yours, but actually other people, it's also their home, right? In the instances you in when you go inside of it, you know what I'm saying? And you can invite other people, and then they come in your instance, you know.
The thing that I want, so the reason why I like UO housing so much compared to every other housing I've ever seen is because, for one thing, this is just for me personally, not everyone has to agree, but if the housing is instanced, then a part of me is like, well, what's even the point? You know, like, what's even the point of having this house if it's instanced away somewhere? Because the thing that I like about UO housing,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I pulled up a random. I typed in Ultima Housing, and it's Dave's video. So.
Yeah, there he is. That's funny. But the reason that I like the UO housing so much is because, like, let's say me and you and whoever else, people from the community, we're all playing an MMO together. And so we start buying housing plots, and we all lay our house down in the same area, so we have like a little village going on. That means that whenever you log in, if people are at their house like doing crafting or something like that, you're going to see them right there. When you log in, they're going to be at home doing their thing. And it just really helps build a sense of community, another layer of community in video games, when you can have that kind of experience. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. So
I really enjoy that.
So I brought this up with the developer, maybe two, I don't remember, at least one main developer for Monsters and Memories, right? And I was talking about housing and how the problems with it, right? Yeah. Instancing is kind of a little bit lame, okay? It is a little bit. I can see the benefits of it, because when you do housing like Ultima Online or Star Wars Galaxies or, a handful of others, not been many, but some have done it, right? Where you can just build out in the world and there it is. The problem is when you're playing the game normally, right, you'll run across these huge housing areas, right? And that's not content. You're just, you know what I mean? There's just a bunch of houses now. You know what I mean? And you just kind of got to wade through all the houses to get back out to where the mobs are or whatever. And it's kind of, it's cool, but it's kind of not cool. It's like cool in theory, and it's kind of cool in practice, but it also is kind of annoying because there's so many people and they build so many houses, they're freaking everywhere, and now there's, you know what I mean? There's less wilderness in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe there's got to be some fine line that you can have both ways. You know what I mean? Like, maybe there would be areas of the world that everybody knew, like these are areas pretty much reserved for player housing. You can still just walk over there if you want to, but, it's just a housing area on top of everything else in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Monsters and Memories developer, all he said to me was, we think we have a way to satisfy everybody. It's never been done before. We're going to give it a shot. I don't know what that means, but it is interesting that somebody sees both sides of the story, thinks there is a way to do this and it not suck, and not be a Final Fantasy XIV. I see chat bringing that up, and that's very true. Not be a Final Fantasy XIV scenario, right, where housing is like as hard to get as it is in real life, right?
Yeah.
So
Sheesh.
You don't want that. You don't want to be stressed out like people be camping a spot for a house for 3 months, like literally trying not to fall asleep, afraid they're going to miss it and all this weird stuff, right? So I don't know. There's got to be in the lottery, literally in-game lottery to win, to get the opportunity to get a house slot. We'll see what Monsters and Memories does. They're the only one I've personally talked to that said we think we have the solution, right? I've heard a lot of people say things like, Oh, but it's just you need enough land for the players. Okay. But also, before those houses go there, it can't be boring, right? You can't just have, like, the game opens up like freaking Fractured Online and there's just these wide open spaces with nothing in it. And
Right.
nothing going on. That's going to make the game seem lame. You know what I mean? It's a difficult problem, I feel like, to solve, and hopefully somebody does, though. Somebody can do it.
Yeah, maybe one day.
It's just so funny that I just literally typed in Ultima Online House and clicked the first video, and it was
It's
Dave.
Dave.
It's Dave.
I would be okay with like this wouldn't really that make too much sense for like a high fantasy game, but like in a science fiction style game, like I would even be okay with like a situation where like you took a shuttle to a planet that was just for housing.
That would be cool. And here's what I want to add to the housing. And we've talked about this, you know, when I'm streaming in random times, but tie the housing into the auction house system, right? Dark Age Camelot did a good job with that. I think you could do a little better these days than they did back in 2001. But you bought a house, and the whole reason you wanted a house, mainly why everybody wanted a house, was so that they could put a merchant on it, right? And it would be on like a little porch, you have your merchant. That reminded me of Ultima Online. Dark Age Camelot didn't invent that. Ultima Online did. But Dark Age Camelot had like neighborhoods, right? You had to port there. It wasn't in the world. It was in the world, but you had to go there. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was separate from the PvE areas and obviously the PvP areas. It was a housing area. And what they would do is their server just knew, like, this one's full, make another one. This one's full, make another one, right? And it would just get bigger and bigger and bigger the more people bought houses. And the way you bought stuff off of players was you went to the housing district, right? And there would be an NPC right there. Like, every little town would have each little village or whatever, right? Each little square that held so many houses would have a little guy there, and you could talk to him, and you could search for items you wanted to buy, right? And EQ2 did something similar to this too, but Dark Age came out way before EQ2. So then you would say, I want to buy this item. Well, if you don't want to travel to their house, right, and get it, we'll tell you what lot number and where it's at, right? But if you want to just buy it from me, I'm going to charge you extra, right? I'm going to charge a tax on it, right? So you could either find out where the lot was, find out where the house was, and then go get it and not pay a tax, or be lazy and buy it off the guy and pay a tax, and there you got a gold sink as well. So, I thought that was pretty good.
Here's my answer to it. This is my personal answer. See, just let me play the damn game. Says you can't solve it. That's why instance housing is the answer. But I do think there's a way to solve it, and it's by doing this, and it seems a little extreme, I know. But make the world the actual size of the planet Earth.
Oh, jeez.
Then even if you got a million players on there and there's a million houses, it won't feel like crap.
But then will it feel too empty because of you had to make such a massive world that now
No, because this is going to be the ultimate game, dude. There's content everywhere in that world.
There's content everywhere.
Because probably in this game, I'm talking about this in this future, because AI will probably create it on the fly, the content.
Sure.
I mean, that game Light No Fire is supposed to be as big as the Earth.
Yeah, that's true. Joe has a good point. Have you seen the cost of housing on the planet Earth?
But I would imagine that in an MMO, it probably won't reflect that same way.
You know what game is
There
claiming?
probably won't be enough people playing the game for it to become a problem.
Do you guys know there is a game claiming to be the size of the actual planet Earth? And fully
What is the
explorable
game?
Ocean and land.
Oh.
It's that one game made by the No Man's Sky people, and I think
Light No Fire, the one I was just saying. Yeah,
I think they're going to actually pull it off. Now,
they're saying they are.
It's not an MMO, but it could be.
Right? Yeah.
It could be. It's just not.
That game looks sweet, dude. I'm definitely following that one.
Yeah, that one has the most potential to be the next Skyrim, as in, like, you go back to it and you feel like you can keep playing it and there's always something new. You know what I mean? Like, this is the actual future, hopefully, I hope, of, like, a game that people play for a ridiculously long time because it just freaking is so huge, right? Like, you couldn't possibly explore it all in your lifetime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that is with the help of AI and their algorithm that they use for No Man's Sky, right? Which works now. So pretty cool. Yeah, housing is a big deal, though, for MMOs. All right, what do we got next? Next we got...
Squirrel with a gun, boys.
Squirrel with a Gun. The official announced trailer.
Dude, I'm so pumped about this game.
Dude, it's another animal game. So today's theme is animals. All right, you
That's
ready?
right. I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
It's the official console announcement trailer, so it's coming to consoles.
A small but remarkable creature thrives.
Look at that squirrel.
Squirrel. With its agile movements and inquisitive nature, this ubiquitous rodent has made its home in the urban jungle. But you should always be cautious when interacting with squirrels.
Oh, jeez, that guy's shooting at
They
me.
are
He's
known
shooting.
to carry diseases.
Carry
And in
diseases.
some cases,
Oh, my
large firearms.
gosh, dude.
The squirrel is known for its
It's got a little cowboy hat on.
compliance with basic gun safety regulations. So it is advised to steer clear of an area with any reports of a squirrel with a gun.
Oh my
Selecting its
god,
weapons
dude.
carefully,
What?
the squirrel adapts its strategy to the ever-changing environment.
What is happening? Is this by the person that made Goat Simulator?
The squirrel navigates its
Yeah,
surroundings
right.
with unmatched.
It looks better than Goat Simulator, though. I'll say
Join
that.
this journey into the hidden world of the common squirrel. Coming 2024.
The hidden world of the common squirrel.
www.squirrelwithagun.com.
Okay, well, there you go.
There's something.
That's happening. This
There's
is
a
real.
thing.
This is real life.
Dude,
I mean, you
squirrel
did
with a gun,
say
boys.
you wanted a game that you play as an animal. But we did say a little more realistic. I'm gonna have to,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say this
That's-
is not. This does look like the kind
No.
of game my kids would absolutely adore, though. I'm not even gonna lie.
It might be kind of funny
Yeah.
for a little bit.
Yeah. It's weird that that's become a genre now. You know, comedy games.
Yeah.
It's the sequel to Hobo with the Shotgun.
Oh my gosh.
So, well, I guarantee you no other podcast and/or gaming news has covered that. So that's only here that we're going to talk about that.
Maybe.
So this is pretty big news. I feel like for a lot of people. Final Fantasy XIV Online is dropping on Xbox in 3 days.
Oh yeah, boys.
March 21st, the day before.
Not that I actually even care.
Right at Dragon's Dogma 2. People that are been on Xbox fanboys that don't want to or don't PC game, they'll finally be able to play Final Fantasy XIV. They've been demoing it or beta testing it for a little bit now, about a month, and I guess they're ready to rock and roll. And the other cool thing is that if you get the starter edition, so you buy the game, the only option to buy 14 does come with the base game, Realm Reborn, and also the first and second expansion. So Heaven's Sword and Storm's Blood is included, which is normal. I'm pretty sure if you buy the game anywhere, those two come with it. I'm pretty sure.
I think you're right. Yeah.
And but players that have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, they can get it for free if they get it before April 19th with the 2 expansions. They don't got to pay for the game. They just got to pay for their sub. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So, yeah, Final Fantasy XIV is a cool game. And I'm happy for Xbox players, you know? Like, I feel like they should have got it a long time ago, but they're getting it now.
Yeah, definitely. It's their time to shine. It's their time to shine. Like the crystal. Like the light of Hydaelyn.
Like the light of Hydaelyn. Now for what makes me upset. Now for the part that makes me upset.
Uh-oh.
They love to do this because they know that there's people like me out there who will fall for it. Let's scroll down. I put it towards the bottom there. While we're on the subject of Final Fantasy XIV, let's talk about this Xbox exclusive controller and console.
Oh, I see it. Let me just take a little gander here, see what it looks like.
So they are releasing a Final Fantasy XIV specific console.
There's a console too?
Yeah.
Is this happening in America?
Yes. Well, actually, we'll have to read the article. Does it show it? I can't find it.
I don't know. Yeah, dude. Oh my god, is that real?
Yeah, it's real. Oh, here it is.
Oh my gosh, dude! Look how cool that looks.
Yep, this is from official Xbox. There it is. It looks freaking sick, dude.
Does it really come in a holder like that though, or is that just?
No, that's it, dude. This is the official announcement of it.
Even that thing that it's sitting in, that's part of it. That's like a thing.
Yeah, that's what holds it up. That's its little stand that holds it.
Oh my gosh, dude, that is so sweet. But I just cannot justify buying an Xbox at all.
And guess what, dude? It glows.
Like a crystal?
When it's powered up, the crystals glow and everything.
Oh my gosh,
like,
dude,
I have no need for an Xbox, you know what I'm saying?
Me neither, at all. I'm not, oh my gosh, that is
cannot
cool
buy
looking.
this. I have to not do it. This is a waste of money.
Yeah.
But man, does it look really stinking cool, you know? It looks really cool. It would be a beautiful thing to be sitting there, but that's all it would be good for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that is all my current Xbox does is just sit there.
Yeah. Thanks for the super chat, Alex. Appreciate it, brother. I'm gonna play a little.
Man, that's cool looking, man.
Let's do a little. I got a brand new little super chat. Oh crap! I didn't put it on the board. We'll have to get that up for tomorrow. Well, let's celebrate that super chat. Here we go. All right, we're back. Let me fix the screen. Actually, click the wrong thing. So yeah, it looks great. It looks really stinking good, dude. But it's a waste of money. Does. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna do it. But that's a beautiful piece of art right there. It's the Weeb box. I don't think they have very many Weeb games. Actually, I think that's part of the problem. How much do they charge for this? Let's see if we can find out.
It's probably a ridiculous price, dude. It's gonna cost so much gil.
Gil.
Like, how much gil could it possibly cost?
I don't know how to search for this.
Go.
Maybe if we go over to Ted's house, we can find it.
Thank you, Alex. Appreciate that super chat. Yeah, I don't know. 600. Get a $600 Xbox and play Halo 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the good games are coming to PC as well for Xbox. That's why I just didn't even feel bad about ignoring it this console generation. I'm appreciative of that, by the way. I'm not trying to smack talk it. I like it because I didn't have to buy an Xbox. You know what I mean? It was an easy decision for me. And I knew I had to buy the PS5 because Final Fantasy exclusives. Generally speaking, Sony is a good platform to own, for RPGs, etc. I don't know if I can really agree yet that the PS5 was, but I've had enough good games that I feel like I've got my money's worth. Final Fantasy XVI, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm gonna play Dragon's Dogma 2 on it. Have fun with Hogwarts Legacy, and I really loved, even though I couldn't play it on the PS4, I really loved the remake of. Oh crap! What's the game called? The old PS1 game they did a remake of. Whatever, I can't think of it right now. Loved it to death. The one where you travel through the Star Ocean. Star Ocean 2.
Oh yeah,
that was super fun. So you know, this has just been a crappy console generation so far. We need some mega hits to be slapping us in the face. You know.
It seems like this is the year, man.
It could be. This could be the year where everything comes together. I hope so. All right, well.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Xbox people. Or future Xbox
You're getting a cool game. You're getting a cool game.
Getting a good MMO.
And that's the truth. You heard it here first?
You heard it here first. Deceit 2? Have you seen this yet?
A little bit. Enough to know that it looks hilariously bad.
All right. Well, apparently I must have clicked the video and skipped forward in it because it started in the middle, but I have not seen the trailer. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Time to play.
What?
Dude, this game is like Overblood Resident Evil 1 bad voice acting. Which means it might be a hilarious playthrough.
Oh wait, are they gonna run into a mansion? They're already in a mansion.
He was like, shh.
I've got to do something. Oh no. Lisa!
Chang, buddy, you alright? I'll be honest, mate. I'm convinced it's Priya.
Alex, stop! I would never do anything to harm
Liar!
anyone.
I have a hard time believing that. Weren't you the one suspicious of Lisa? What the? Nina?
Oh no.
Nina?
Is that a cat girl just walked out?
When am I
Oh, no.
ever wrong?
She's got cat ears on.
To vote her out now! Hurry, guys!
Chang, we have to.
Hang on, I gotta pause it. First of all,
Okay.
why in the living hell would you be in this kind of situation still wearing those cat things? You know? Like, this is a pretty screwed up situation they're in. Some kind of demons chasing them. She just killed a woman. Now she's turning exorcist mode, you know, going full-blown exorcism here. And you're wearing cat... Why would you wear that at this point? You know what I mean? Like...
Probably... Dude, we don't have any... We don't know... That character, maybe she's, like, autistic or something.
Well, and also, I want to scroll back a little bit. I want to see, like... I know that obviously this isn't good acting, right? But at the same time, she just runs out and shoots this girl.
Of course she tried to deny it.
Yeah. Maybe
That guy like has no reaction to it at all.
What the?
Oh, he did say what
It was
the.
obviously...
His reaction was what the Nina.
I know, it's hilarious.
It's like she just got shot. He knew her. He was talking to her. Nina. He said it like she like showed her butt in public or something. You know what I mean? She just got shot.
Yeah.
This is so odd. All right.
Maybe he's saying that like that because she has the cat ears on.
Maybe. All right, let's continue. 3, 2, 1, go.
We have to vote her out now! Hurry, guys!
Chang, we have to.
I hope you're right. Nina, wait, Alex? It's you? No, 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 no!
Also, I don't think any of this is in game either.
No, it doesn't seem
Nina
like
and
it.
Alex! It's them! Give me the key!
What? What?
Did you think you escaped?
I mean,
Oh my god.
deceit. Okay, number
Dumb.
one, the whole game is called Deceit, and that was the example. Was the cat girl that he obviously just saw shoot a girl? Now,
Nina!
Now he turned against him and to take his key or whatever the hell is going on. What?
All right, well that's a game coming out, I guess.
Is this called Deceit 2? Hang on.
I mean, there's a first one.
No, no!
It
guess.
is 2, yeah. This is the sequel to something. What is happening? Who's making this game? Hang on. It's available now. Wait a minute. Did it just say it's free to play?
Yeah, why is it free to play? It'd be funny if this somehow is like a gotcha game.
Hang on. Why is this free to play? Are they just literally not making money, or do they have some kind of monetization for Deceit? I don't know if I should.
Maybe
spell
it's
it
government
wrong.
funded.
It's government funded.
We're gonna start getting government funded games.
And it's free, and somebody asks, is Deceit 2 worth it? It's free. It's literally free. Maybe it wasn't free, because I see it here for $6.29. So maybe they just made it free, because nobody was
They're
buying
like, look, nobody's buying the game. Let's just give it away for free.
Okay, World Makers relaunches social deduction game. So it's like a game where you got to try to figure out.
It's like the game.
Yeah, it's like the game.
Or the thing.
Or the
I
thing.
mean, the
yeah,
thing.
The thing, yeah. The developer of social deduction game Deceit 2 is relaunching it. They put that in bunny quotes there. Not only is the game back with a bunch of changes based on player input, but also change in monetization. The game is now free to play.
Wow.
It has premium content expansion, the Werewolf Pack. It has a new terror, player role, item, and map. The new terror is the new addition since the game launched and is a werewolf. The new role is the chemist. So you pick a class. And you get one... Okay, I get it now. You get one map for free. If you want to get more maps, you got to pay. Mostly negative reviews on Steam. I'm not shocked. It looks pretty bad.
Yeah, it does not look like anything I would be willing to give any more attention to, I don't think.
There's something about the way that the acting and the first person combined made me feel like, have you ever been to like, you know, if you go somewhere like high quality like Universal, right? And even sometimes there, the older rides where they try to do the 3D stuff, but it's not quite good. But especially if you go somewhere that tries to do a 3D ride and they don't have a big budget, right?
Yeah.
And they'll like hire some cheesy actors that probably also work at the park, you know, to like do the acting in these like kind of 3D ride kind of things. That's what it reminded me of the most. That kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it looks pretty terrible.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty dang terrible.
It looks like instant regret. Like you spent $7 for a map or original.
You're like, dang it, why did I buy this?
Yeah, and it's like
you can't even get my money back now.
That's when you start thinking about how many McDoubles you could have bought instead. You know. All right,
like I could have got some McDoubles.
Now this I've been waiting for. This is awesome. So apparently, Ayuden Chronicles.
I absolutely adore the Suikoden series.
So apparently, the Ayuden Chronicles sent out to a few YouTubers out there, not me included.
I was one of them.
They sent out a review copy, even though the game's not coming out till towards like more than a month away. They went ahead and sent out some review copies to some people who have actually played all the way through Ayuden Chronicles, the upcoming badass RPG coming out next month that was made by the guy that made Suikoden, which is a fantastic series that we're also at some point going to get the remake of the first and second ones, which were the best ones. So we're going to watch this review from this handsome young man. All right, you ready, Steve?
Yeah, and before we start it here, I did just read that they own... This is kind of weird. I don't know what's the deal, but they only sent out the review copies to YouTubers who were in great physical shape.
Why didn't Donnie Doodles get one?
I know.
Dude.
It's messed up, dude.
Dude, you know what it is? They obviously have a problem with people who are past cannibal victims. Obviously.
Oh, that makes sense.
I'm sick of this crap. All right, let's see what we got.
That makes total sense.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, we're going to skip past the story part because we don't want no spoilers. And I know he probably don't spoil much, but he spoils
So
something.
where do we got to start it at?
At the very beginning.
Okay.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
I absolutely adore the Suikoden series. I always have since I played the first one back in high school, but it's just like a crying shame that the series has pretty much been dead in the water since like the PS2 era. But Ayuden Chronicle 100 Heroes answers the question of like, what would happen if this series had continued and maybe even stayed back on the PS2 and never left that console? Because this is definitely old school styled. Hi there, everybody.
I'm going to pause it real quick.
Channel, please be sure to...
I want to judge this guy real quick. Let's see.
Okay.
I see Final Fantasy back there. I see Dragon Warrior 2. What is that? It's like a combo pack. It's just 2 and 4. Was that Japanese re-release on the Super Nintendo,
which
Super
one?
Famicom?
I can't see it.
It's on his shelf. The top right second column there. It's just. I'm pretty sure it's Dragon Warrior 2, and I see 4 behind it, but I don't recognize that cartridge.
Oh. Because it's a Super Famicom cartridge.
It must be a Super Famicom. I see Chrono Trigger.
Or something like that.
I'm pretty sure.
Or maybe
right
just
there.
a Famicom.
What else has he got going on here? Ooh, Lunar. I see Lunar back there. Lunar Eternal Blue.
This guy's a good taste in RPGs, man.
does.
Look, he's got the last story over there on the Wii.
Oh, does he? Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
down in the right.
Yeah, and I like that little Super Nintendo he's got laying in front of it. We got Dragon Quest. I can't tell which one that is. We got Bravely Default 2, which was great. We got Star Ocean. Is that till the end of time, I think? Yeah. All right. This guy's got good taste in RPGs. Just got a Dragon Warrior comic book back there. What the heck is that?
I don't know.
Got Chocobo. Xenosaga. Wow. Okay. All right. He's got that on full display too, dude. This guy likes some stories, dude. He's got Xenosaga like front row. That means this guy he likes some stories.
Is living the lifestyle that I wish I could make myself live, because clearly he goes to the gym regularly and plays JRPGs all the time.
Yeah, this is what happens if you play JRPGs but you take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Now, Exhibit B plays RPGs all the time but doesn't take care of himself. Okay, that's the difference. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Subscribe for some more top 10s, news, and reviews, and smash that like button to show your love. And now, let me tell you all about my first impressions of Ayuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. First things first, you do need to know that this is an unabashedly retro game.
That looks so cool, man.
And whether that's good or bad is up to your personal taste,
bright.
but
Look
I
how smooth that
am a
was.
retro guy.
These
and
are
I am
pixels.
Loving all the throwbacks. It really is like playing a Suikoden 6 game if it was released like late in the PS2's life cycle or early in PS3. There's still random encounters, there's still
random
save
encounters,
points,
baby.
There's no fast forwarding or anything else like that, and you still have to go to town to equip runes for God's sakes. It's wonderful. But at the same time, there are some modern quality of life additions like auto-saving and quest tracking, so it's not all retro. But anyway, we'll get into all of that more as the review goes along. Right from the get-go, you can choose between English or Japanese voice acting, as well as normal and hard difficulties.
Okay.
And you can even customize your difficulty down to the nth degree. It's pretty neat. You end up playing as Noah, a plucky little boy from a mountain village who goes off to the big city to join the Watch. And you pretty much begin by being introduced to the other main members of the Watch. Gar,
doesn't he look like
Leon,
a main character
overly
for
enthusiastic girl who just joined like 2 days before.
He does, dude.
And Mio, your stereotypical strong, silent anime girl type. And while the Watch typically does just like odd jobs around town, you're instead taking part in a special mission and representing the League of Nations as you join up with the Empire to search for the hidden rune barrows, which is rumored to hold a primal lens, which is also, one of the 27 true runes from the Suikoden series. Together, the 6 of you dive deep into the dungeon, working together to solve its trials and tribulations and eventually uncover the primal rune.
Okay, let's stop it here. It's starting to get into some story. Let's skip ahead. Let me find where he stops talking about story.
That just kind of like plop you into the world map and let you go.
Okay, hang on. I've almost found it.
There's very little guidance along.
Here we go. So start at 236.
236?
Yeah. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Then you're pretty much just set loose to go out into the world and explore. There's very little guidance, along with plenty of towns and dungeons there that are in need of exploring. I love that they just kind of like plop you into the world map and let you go off and do your own thing.
Oh, look at that world map!
This looks so
And
sweet,
did I mention there's a glorious world map to explore?
Good,
Anybody
this
who's
is a
ever
lost
watched my
art,
channel for
bro.
any length of time knows how much
It
I
is.
love world maps. I audibly gasped whenever I saw this, and then I like squealed with girlish glee. I just couldn't control myself.
Yeah.
I mean, a brand new game in this day and age with a world map that's not some
remake
awful
Final Fantasy
point-and-click
like this,
hot garbage.
100%.
Am I
That would be
dreaming?
awesome.
This is great.
This
Not only
is
that,
how they
but there's also
remade,
a mini map. Not that stupid little tracker
Star
on the
Ocean.
top of the
Star
screen
Ocean
that doesn't
too,
tell
by
you
the way.
jack.
It's
And
awesome.
there's a super large map detailing the entirety of the world, as well as showing off each dungeon. So it's impossible.
This guy's
get
about to
lost and
start
turn around.
crying, man.
Yeah.
So that's so freaking cool. I just loved it. And as I said before, there are random battles. I mean, it does make sense. In the Suikoden games, the battles were always random, so why should it be any different here?
Yeah.
I will say, though, the random battles don't really occur that often, which is both a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because, who in the world wants 50 million random battles every time that you turn around? I sure don't. But at the same time, it can be pretty obnoxious whenever you're given a quest by this stupid archer guy who wants you to fight 5 wild boars, and the game not only decides to make those wild boars like a super rare encounter, but then the random encounters just never happen too. Oh my god, it took forever to get those stupid frickin' boars for this asshole to join my party. Anyway, Battles take place in a turn-based fashion where you fight.
Gosh,
in
I
groups of
love
six,
these graphics,
utilizing
dude. Look
3
at 'em in
members
the
the front
standing in
and
that
3 members
grass.
in the back row.
I know,
Each
dude, that
character
looks
is classified
freaking
as
cool,
short,
man.
medium, or long range.
This is what I always
so you need
hoped
short-range fighters in the front row,
would
while
happen
keeping
in
the
the
long-range
future.
fighters in the back row.
Yeah,
And medium
this is
fighters
what,
can
always
pretty much
what I,
just go
in my
wherever you
mind,
want to.
RPGs would
You can then
look
choose
like
to
this
give
in the
direct orders
future,
to your
but
characters or have them fight automatically.
We had to wait way in
you
the
don't get
future.
it a lot.
We had to wait way
Customize
further in the
their
future than I
auto
thought.
Similar to the
to get
gambit
this.
system of Final Fantasy XII, just not as detailed.
Ooh,
Like,
a
dude,
gambit
this-
type
this-
There's a
system,
turn order
dude.
gauge
Nice.
signifying whenever your characters will be
Interesting.
attacking too. Kind of like in Final Fantasy X. So it's so nice.
I love
Each party member has their own unique attacks and special skills which you can further customize through their runes. You can equip them for physical-based damage skills, or to learn magical spells, or even to enhance and buff your stats. After battle, you'll gain experience and gold, and again, this is a Suikoden in all but name, so it does use that great leveling system, where the lower your level is, the more experience points that you'll gain. So it's super easy to level up your lower leveled party members.
Yeah.
I will say this.
That's how it
though.
worked in Suikoden
The battles
too,
in
I
the
just
original
remember.
Suikoden games were like lightning quick. Here, though, not so much. Yeah, some characters will attack at the same time as others, but it just seems to be like on the slower side. Because you have to see everybody's special attack every single freaking time that they attack. And you're always going to want to be wanting to use them because there's really no like drawback to using them. I just kind of wish that there was either like a fast forward option or better yet, an option to skip
I
the
wonder if they'll
specialized
patch
attacks
that.
or just
That
see
feels
them
like something
one
might get
time
patched.
and never see them again. Kind
Day
of like
one.
the summons in Final Fantasy IX. Another addition are hero combinations,
You can skip
where
the
two characters
long
can initiate attacks
scenes
together.
after you've
And to
already
top
seen
it
them.
off, there's even a covering mechanic, where if someone's
I'm a
injured,
weirdo
the
and I
party
never
will take
do.
a hit for them, ensuring that they don't die.
I don't.
Then there's
I don't
gimmicks,
until I'm
which are additions to
actually
the boss
grinding,
battles,
and then I'll.
and they're
want
all
to.
Oh, if I'm
really
actually
pointed out,
grinding, I will
easy to
then.
use,
Yeah, if
and
I'm
there's
actually
all
grinding.
sorts of different ones. A lot of them will be like defensive, where you can take cover from a strong attack, or some of them can
It's
be
interesting how
offensive,
there's a
allowing you to do
combo of
massive amounts of
3D
damage to the boss
enemies and
if you're able to get the gimmick
and
off
2D
correctly.
ones sometimes. You know.
Everything that you know
Yeah.
and love from the original series is still here, like the rune shops, the commodity trading shops, even the blacksmiths to upgrade your weapons. And then there's further additions there too, like little side chats and conversations that.
What about the extra stuff like fishing and all that? Is that I thought.
And
that
now,
would be
though, I
missing.
do want to talk about some negatives. Well, the game does do a good job of letting you know what to do next. It doesn't really keep track of like the sub quests or the character locations, the things that would be really good to know for a game like this.
I
It would just be
disagree. I
so
don't want
nice
to
to
know
have, like,
that.
a little notebook type menu that says something
Oh.
like, "Hey, so and so is over in this town."
Oh.
Or, "Hey, you know this guy over there? He wants some beans before he'll join your party."
So if you had
Just
to
something
find
like
them
that.
first and
A little
then
friendly
put it in a
reminder to
journal,
let you know who you've
that
met,
would be cool.
what their names are, what town
Yeah,
they're
if
located
you've already
in,
met 'em,
and what
yeah.
they want in order to join your party.
I wouldn't want
But
to.
I will
tell
say
me
that's
sir.
how
This has
Suikoden
to be
2
said,
was.
'cause I am
Was
not
what?
one to harp.
It
on
was like
graphics.
that, like
I mean,
this.
I was raised on the NES and the game.
No
for
journal?
God's sakes, so I really don't.
Yeah,
care
you
that
just
much
had to
about
know.
graphics.
You
Yeah,
just had
you had
to,
to know.
like,
However,
I remember
I do
forgetting
care about
and
this.
going back
There's
and
this
finding a character and
background
talking to him, and be
blur,
like,
for
"Oh
lack of a
yeah,
better
that's what he
term,
wants."
And it
Yeah.
really bothers my eyes, like to the point where they tear up. And maybe it is just a me problem.
What's he talking about,
But I
the
even
blur
tried
effect?
special computer glasses, and it didn't
Yeah.
help. And it was especially bad in this one scene with Sailor Moon. And like, I just had to look away from the
talking about
screen
Sailor Moon?
and just press the button.
He's saying that girl looks like Sailor Moon in the front.
Going back
'Cause her
and
hair.
forth sort of thing. It was terrible. Also, the opening cutscene is just bad. There's these two birds flying and like attacking each other, and it just does not showcase the game to best advantage. They should either just rework it entirely or
blur's
just
bothering me,
cut it out.
even watching this
Because it
video.
is
Yeah, that
downright
blur sucks.
embarrassing. And if that's the first thing that you see from the game, it doesn't really set the right tone.
Why did they do that?
Anyway, though, that's it for my review and first impressions of Ayuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. Overall, I really enjoyed it. So I want to ask,
It doesn't.
are
The way how he
you
gave his
going
review
to the
doesn't
game?
sound like
Did
he
you
enjoyed
back
it.
and have early access like me?
Yeah.
Let me know what your feelings are, and let's get it.
He said it hurt his eyes. So here's a couple things. So I do believe that they sent this out this early because they are a smaller team. They're not like a uber indie or nothing, but it's a pretty, it's condensed small team. I think they sent out early so that they could hear stuff like this so they could patch it. That's my
Yeah, hopefully so.
I think things like being able to skip things after you've already seen it, like, the longer attacks will likely be in the game by the time it launches, and hopefully turn off that blur. I cannot stand blur in my video game. I turn that crap off the second I realize it has it.
Yeah, I turn off motion blur always.
Yeah, motion blur. I don't know.
But
who
that
that's
blur
for.
was like making my brain hurt for
Yeah, it
some
made me
reason
feel-
at that scene. One scene.
I agree. Yeah, this part where it's just showing
My brain.
Out.
Yeah, that's
Because it is downright
painful.
But
to look
anyway,
at.
we'll get into all that more as the review goes along.
It looks cool though, man. I'm really looking forward to this game. I think I'm gonna love the crap out of it. I am a little concerned, and maybe I missed something there because I was thinking about something else when he's talking. I did just kind of want to have a turn-based system where I told everybody what to do. Is it saying that's an option where if you don't want to, you want to automate battles, you can use a gambit system, or do you only control the main character and everybody else's gambit?
I don't know.
I couldn't tell.
Surely not, right? Surely not.
I'm hoping that's just like an option because that is pretty standard. So if you don't want to tell every single person what to do, or like you're about to go grind and you know you're just going to be hitting attack every time. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And a heal when
right.
you need it. Then you could just set it up, and that way you could just...
Yeah, I'm hoping it's basically like a way to customize an auto battle feature.
Yeah, and every time he showed a combat scene, it didn't show the menus, so I don't know. You know what I mean? He would only show the
Yeah, I'm
parts
not
where
sure.
He killed them, or the opening of the fight, or one attack.
Oh, hopefully it's just... that's just an option, right? I like being able to select everyone's action, unless, you know... It's most turn-based RPGs that actually have an auto battle setting. I will usually never use it.
Well, it did show him picking at least one other character, what he did at this one part. And it's not the main character, although they're working together for a combo. So I'm going to hold out hope because, to me, I want to tell everybody what to do. You know what I'm saying? For the majority
Yeah,
of
me
the
too.
gameplay.
Same.
That's the joy of the turn-based. You take that away, you kind of... I mean, it's not really turn-based now. It's...
Might as well be playing a freaking mobile game, you know?
yeah. It looks great, though. I'm really excited about this. After Dragon's
Yeah,
Dogma
hopefully
2,
it lives up to the name of Suikoden.
Yep, because this is his last game. He passed away. So, this is it. That guy will never... no more games from him. We got the Suikoden series. We got this. And that's it. This is his magnum opus. So... don't screw it up, guys. Don't screw it up. Fix that blur, for sure.
Yeah, fix the things that you can fix. Ooh, hooty hoo, hooty hoo. Hooty hooty hoo.
Well, it's time to talk about... So, Princess Peach got her own game.
Yeah. Should we watch a trailer for that?
Do you want to?
Dude, let's get a little look at it. Here, I'll find us one real quick here.
All right.
So Peach... she's only got her own game one time before, and it was, what was it called?
DS, that DS game?
Yeah, Super Princess Peach.
Yeah.
And I actually liked that game. I thought that was a fun Mario game, honestly.
Yeah, I remember.
Now, this game is not really, it's got its own thing going on. It's not like a Mario game like how Princess Peach was. As in level design and gameplay. This game, it looks like they're trying something new. Definitely not a game for everybody, I don't think, but here's a trailer for it, so just let me know when you're ready.
Oh, Mujin's raiding. Thank you, Mujin. Welcome, my friend, over on Twitch. All right, you ready? Looks like it's moving through every Mario game. Is it going to get to Peach?
Wait, what? Did I not send the right trailer to you?
Did I click the wrong thing? Every day is a Mario Day, 2024 is what I'm like. Maybe I clicked the wrong thing. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what I did. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Figure skaters. This is the most recent trailer. So in the game, you're like different stages, and it makes you you're a different Peach. It's like on a stage. The whole thing is.
That makes sense. A mermaid.
Oh.
That might be fun, actually.
Yeah, it looks like there's a bunch of different stuff.
They didn't. You don't swim around. It doesn't look like on that one.
Yeah, maybe not.
What's this one? Mighty Peach. It's like Metroid Peach, maybe. No, she's super strong. Oh, she can fly.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Ooh, that ninja one. A cowboy one?
Oh, and a chef.
So I don't know if you know this or not, Steve, but a lot of people are pissed off at this game.
Because of her character design?
Because of Detective Peach, man. They think that
Detective
that is
Peach.
taking away from Detective Pikachu, and they're pissed about it.
Are you serious? Is that really a thing going on?
There is a small minority of people who are pissed about that, believe it or not. Yeah,
and there's people mad about her design.
This looks like it's probably fun, right? If my kids were younger, I might get it because I think that it might be a fun game like to play with my daughter, right? Or even my son if he was younger, right? My son's getting really old, so it's hard for me to even imagine that. But, you know, I could imagine if we were younger that we might, my kids were younger, that we might really enjoy, or if I was even younger, I probably would think this was cool, right? But being a 41-year-old man who my kids are not going to be interested in this, I probably am not going to play it. Even though it's probably fun, it looks like a good platformer. Nintendo always makes good games, you know what I mean? I bet it's cool.
Yeah.
It's just, I would feel awkward buying this for myself.
See, I have a pass on this one because my kid loves Mario and he's only 5, so I think he's going to dig it.
Yeah, that's perfect. What? Yeah, Peach is OP, Deadeye Gaming says. All right, Mugen, I am going to take you to the city. Here we go.
I'm a dog with the bone, I'm saying rough. Let me give it to you, baby, it will never be enough. Let me put my lips up to your ear, let me tell you something, dear. First I'm gonna, then I'm gonna, then I'm gonna grab you by your, then I'm gonna.
All right, we're back. We're back from the city. Oh, I also played Final Fantasy X too with no shame, but also back then, my roommate was Steve, and we were both playing it. So, you know what I'm saying? It was fine. This, though, I just, you know, I definitely wouldn't stream it. It wouldn't fit with the channel.
It'd be hilarious.
I would feel really weird playing this, you know, sitting in the living room with my family, being like, well, what's Dad doing? Oh, he's playing Princess Peach.
So something about when you have young enough kids will make you get all the way, like, beat a game like this, where, like, because I saw where Mr. C said, this seems like a game you'll play once and shelf it. And, like, I could totally see myself doing that with a lot of games just because there's so many games out there, for one thing.
Sure.
But something about when you have a young kid, like, you know, your kid will be like, oh, I want to play that Princess Peach game again. And you're like, okay, here we go. You end up getting all the way through it.
Yeah, and a lot of times when your kids are around that age, too, like, even if they're just playing the game, you end up playing it, too, because they'll be like, you do this part, or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Do we have real breaking news, Whiskey? If you do, let us know. Because we are about to move on. What is next? I think that is it.
Is there even anything else?
I think that might be
No.
it. I think that's all the news we got right now.
We were just going to look over the... Let's look over
we're gonna
this
look at
list
the games
of...
coming out. Right, we're going to look at the games coming out. All right, let's check that out real quick.
So here we got it broken down into...
Oh, what I was going to say, though, before we move completely on, is I was going to say that, like, is there other female characters in the Nintendo verse that should get their own game?
Oh.
And I do want to say, I want to say this carefully. I would like for Zelda to get her own game.
I would too.
But
not Wand of Gamelon.
Not Wand of Gamelon. And don't make it, and this is going to sound awful no matter how I word it, but don't make it an official Legend of Zelda game. You know what I mean? I want Link. That's the main character of Legend of Zelda, right? I want him.
I know, dude. They could make the Legend of Link.
And it's reversed, you mean?
Well, it will be called The Legend of Link, and it will be the story. You'll play as Zelda, right?
Uh-huh.
And it will be a prisoner simulator, because Ganon will have you held hostage through almost the whole game.
Right.
So it doesn't have to be like a Zelda-style
You have
game.
to survive in Ganondorf's prison.
Yeah, and it'll be bad, too. Like, this is going to be like a rated M, because it turns out Ganon is screwed up.
I don't think this is going to happen.
No, it'll never happen.
Like, I feel like they could do a cool game where you're Zelda, right? She has powers, too, right? She's more of a mage, you know, type. I feel like they could pull that off, and it would be cool. But I don't want to see it replace The Legend of Zelda, where he plays Link and,
right,
you know, he's sword and gets a Master Sword and all that stuff. That is key to the franchise. They can't just.
I mean, I would be okay with them just going all out and making the next Legend of Zelda game to where there was an option to play as Zelda, and when you picked Zelda, it was a totally different storyline.
Now that I could get behind 100%. Or even like in the next Legend of Zelda game, maybe change up story where she don't necessarily get kidnapped, right? And make it to where, or trapped or anything like that. And just make it to where, kind of like they did with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, where there are moments where you play as her, right? Like it's part of the story.
Yeah.
Like this is, there's segments where you play.
I mean, that would be cool too.
Yeah, but if
I've seen mods where people play as Zelda in Breath of the Wild, and it always looks so cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, it would be cool. It would be cool just to give her own game series that it plays like a Legend of Zelda. You know what I mean?
Yep. I agree.
I could get into any of those ideas, even the prison simulator.
And then, last but not least, if we're going to talk about female character, hang on, let me see what's going on here.
Oh yeah, who else? And
oh, 1 second, sorry, I'm watching my son do. Wow, that's really impressive. He's doing some flips. He's getting really acrobatic. He's going to be a ninja. But anyway. If we're going to talk about female characters
from Nintendo specifically that need a... Who else? Anybody else?
I know it's already coming, but where's that new Metroid, bro? What the
heck
is going on? That's our female lead for Nintendo.
I'm going to be honest, guys. Like, Metroid Prime is cool and everything, but I'm more so like the other style of Metroid games. And for me, Metroid Dread,
2D.
dude, that was so cool.
Yeah, Metroid Dread.
Did you play Metroid Dread? That was a good one,
I
dude.
have, but I still got to beat it. It is a really good game. It's a really, really, really good game, though.
Dude, those robots are scary, dude.
Yeah, dude. It's a scary game. It's straight up a scary game. It is a frightening game. It is really... And you know what? I haven't been, got that feeling... I mean, it's called Dread. You actually do feel dread, especially coming up on a boss fight, or I did.
Oh, yeah, dude, it is... intense.
I gotta say that when I played Metroid originally on the Nintendo, I thought it was scary. But I've not felt that way again since Metroid Dread. Somehow they pulled it off again.
Yeah.
And I've heard
I hope they keep making those, man.
Steve's played it. I have not. The Metroid Prime remake is supposedly freaking gold, man.
I thought it was actually really good.
Yeah.
And you gotta keep in mind, I am really, really, I like the Metroid Prime games, but I'm probably 200% more a fan of the original Metroid format, that Metroidvania style, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I like Metroid Prime, Metroid Dread so much, but I look at Metroid Prime as a spin-off of those in a way.
Sure, it is.
And I get why they... Here's the thing. I just wish that it was a third-person shooter instead.
Yeah,
I think
agreed.
that is... there's one game series out there that I feel like if this was reskinned as a Metroid game, it would feel like the real version of Metroid.
Know what you're gonna say, yeah.
Going 3D, and it's Dead Space.
Dead Space. It did feel very Metroid, bro, and it was third person. And it made me want a third-person Metroid game so bad. So
it
bad.
Would be so cool.
And Mugen
but
over on
Metroid
Twitch,
Prime's still good.
Mugen over on Twitch says Zelda did get her own game. It was garbage. That was not made by Nintendo.
Yeah, that game, that was on the Philips CDI, right, guys?
It's not canon. I'm sorry, Mr. C. I know you love the Philips CDI, but that is not canon. That was a mistake, honestly, from a little deal Nintendo did trying to get a CD, or experimenting with CD platforms when they realized Sony was going to own their IPs. I know a lot of people are like, man, Nintendo should just went with the Nintendo PlayStation. I understand where you're coming from, but that deal Sony had written up for Nintendo was a no freaking go. They would have owned their IPs. They would have lost Mario, Zelda, Metroid. All their IPs would have been lost to Sony, and that would not have been a good future. So they made the right decision. And then they pissed off Sony by going to Philips and talking to them about using their system after they were already in negotiation with Sony. Sony was like, you freaking assholes. Screw you, we're releasing this as a platform we're going to compete against you. Which, in the long run, worked out for our benefit better than it would have if they would have acquired Nintendo IPs.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what happened. Philips teamed up with Nintendo for just exactly what I said, and then they said, screw all of you, we're making our own, we're going back to cartridge. They didn't like the load times. The big problem was load times. Nintendo said nobody wants to sit here and wait for the level to load. That's awful. That's trash. That's not the future. We'll find another way. So, that was the end of them and CD technology. Well, they came back. They came around as technology got better and loading times.
They're like, we'll do a little tiny CD
and
first.
They did a tiny CD. It was like, man, they really didn't want to go full bore. They're like, okay, how about release the little tiny ones? Little mini discs. That way, we're not actually admitting that CD's better.
It's hilarious.
Okay, what were we? Oh, we're gonna
love
look at
those little GameCube games though. They're so cute.
You know who had the best disc-based system?
Who? The Laserdisc.
As far as the I'm talking about as far as design of the games, the PSP, man, because it was a disc inside of a cart. Genius.
Yeah.
Freaking genius.
Yeah. I thought those were cool.
That way,
they didn't catch on though.
They didn't catch on. It's too bad. It's too bad because that was a good idea.
I thought those were cool.
If I can find where I put it. Okay, here it is. Games releasing. Let's take a look at what we got coming in the future.
We got Dragon's Dogma coming out next week.
Next week is freaking Dragon's Dogma, dude. I am hyped. I cannot wait.
Dude, me too. I was watching a video about it the other day, right? Because now that not the other day, like literally this morning. Because I just beat Final Fantasy VII, and I'm like, all right, Dragon's Dogma is about to come out. I've got it pre-ordered. So I was looking into it a little bit. I just wanted to see some footage of it, really.
Yeah.
And they were talking about what the gameplay is like, and I was like, oh man, this is going to be a really cool game to kind of get immersed into, because like there is not like characters who have quests for you and stuff. There's no indication of it. You just discover it by like exploring and talking to people.
Yeah,
like
you don't even know who has the quest. You have to figure it out, and then they don't tell you exactly. Like it's not like you check your map. You're like, oh, for this quest, I need to go here. They'll describe it to you, right? They'll be like, there's a cave down to the south end of the river, and there was a griffin in there. Please retrieve my brother's ring. He went to go fight it. You know what I mean? Like it's like that. It's organic. It's organic quest, man. I cannot stinking wait.
Looks cool. I know a lot of people are mad. A lot of people are mad about the frame rate thing.
Yeah, so here's the deal about the frame rate. Everybody that's played it, now if you're buying on PC, you're good. You know what I'm saying? You're good. Don't even worry about it. But if you are playing it, which I am going to buy it on the PS5 just because I need a damn reason for my PS5 to exist. So I'm going to buy it for that. I'm not worried about it because everybody who's actually played it on the PS5 says they didn't notice any frame issues, right? The reason console players have gotten accustomed to having this option, performance mode or graphic mode, right? Frame rates, I want you to favor the frame rates or I want you to favor the graphics, right? Now, almost everybody picks performance, right? They want them extra frames. And then studios would typically say, yeah, if you pick performance mode, you're going to get 60 frames per second, right? Or 50 sometimes, right? If you do the graphic mode, typically it's 30 frames, right? But you get 4K or whatever, right? This game just said we just aren't going to lock the frames, right? We are saying it's guaranteed at 30 plus, okay?
Yeah.
I've watched tons of gameplay footage of it on the PlayStation. I've listened to tons of people who've demoed it and played it on the PlayStation. It doesn't seem to be an issue. I think we just wanted the option to feel safe on our frames. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hopefully it's not actually an issue that bothers me. I'm not that picky, honestly, but now, see, you got me actually onto doing performance mode. I just never even thought of doing that for some reason because I'm just not a PC gamer at the end of the day as much as I do on console. So I'm just like, how it is default. It's probably just how I should play it.
Which was usually graphics, yeah. They'll default to graphics usually.
So once I started doing it, dude, I was like, oh, dang.
It's smooth, isn't it?
It's so crazy. So then going back, it's almost a little jarring.
It's a little jarring, yeah. But here's what's weird about this whole frames issue. There's something in our brains, right? Because, like, and that's even in the intro, by the way, brains. We are I can go play a Switch game that obviously is running at 30 frames per second, and
it's
no
same,
problem.
dude.
I don't even blink, nothing. I don't think like, damn, I wish this running 60 frames. Now, if I had played that same game in 60 frames before, then I'd probably go to the Switch and be like, wow, this is not good. I don't know if I can play it like this. You know what I mean?
I feel like you have like I think this applies to other situations too. I think if you have like an idea in your head or a knowledge even that like what you're doing can be done in a better way.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And you need it to be done that way. But if, like in the case of the Nintendo Switch, like that is the max and you know that's as good as it gets on there, then your brain is like, I'm good with this then. This is the best it is in this format. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if there's like some setting or something that you're like, oh, like, dude, I am so ridiculous when I play PC games about like redoing the mouse sensitivity and getting it perfect. But in a console game, it's like, it is what it is.
It is whatever it is. Yeah, it's different. Yeah, and I do agree with you, Grando Reaper. The PS5 Pro is going to be out sometime not too far in the future, and they'll focus on that for sure. And that'll be the big selling point for it, is that you can do graphic modes at 60 frames per second. Plus, it's obviously what they're going to do. Games like Dragon's Dogma, at that point, will benefit because it's unlocked frames, right? So you got better hardware, it's going to run maybe even better than 60 frames, right? Do I think...
That's true.
I do think, while playing on the PlayStation 5, we might get a little stutter when there's a bunch of stuff going on. You know what I mean? It may stutter for a second. That doesn't bother me very much, unless, like Steve said, I'm running it on my badass PC. This game shouldn't be doing that. This isn't my computer. This is the game sucks and wasn't optimized. That's when I get upset, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, we got so Alone in the Dark just launched, or is about to launch. I'm sorry, here in 2 days. I am a little bit interested in that, but because I would only have 2 days to play it, I'm probably going to wait a little while on it. But that will be a fun stream to do later on the channel, so I am going to keep this one ready to rock, because I think we could have fun doing that, one of the OG Survivor horror games, right? And play that together. And plus, it's got the actor from Stranger Things playing the detective role. Again, reprising his role. I'm going to pretend like it's the same character for Stranger Things when I play. And then Dragon's Dogma 2, dude. I think because this is multi-platform, okay, because it's coming out on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, releasing for everybody all at one time, because of that, this could be Game of the Year. I think Final Fantasy VII Rebirth might have gotten it, but it was only on PS5. And there's a little bit of controversy on people say it has too much minigames and all that. May hold it back. Dragon's Dogma is actually releasing on everything, and I think it's going to take the show. I think it's, unless they screwed up, which I don't think they did. These guys are passionate about this. I think this might be our game of the year, guys.
I'm pretty excited about it, man. I can't wait.
I am too. It's going to be
awesome. That is just like, what is that, on Friday? Yeah.
Yeah. Thursday late night, I'll be streaming it.
I'll probably crack into it on Friday afternoon.
A lot of people are excited for Rise of Ronin. I get it. I'm not. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I don't really care.
That's when I'm, I'll watch somebody else play it. You know what I mean? Now, also, I thought this was weird when I see it on here. The Grandia HD collection, which came out a long time ago, but it actually never released for the PlayStation. Which
it was on the Switch, I know. It was
on the Switch and PC, but now it's releasing on PlayStation and maybe Xbox. I'm not sure.
And Xbox, yep. And Xbox.
And then we got South Park Snow Day. I don't care. As a matter of fact...
Dude, I'm mad about that game, actually.
How come?
Because, dude, the first two South Park... If you were a South Park fan, the first two South Park games are freaking awesome. These last two. The Stick of Truth, and then the Fractured Butthole.
Yeah, good name.
But dude, this one is, instead of being like a cool RPG, because those games were cool because they were actually a pretty good RPG set in the South Park universes, and it feels like you're watching the show the way how the game's done. So I don't know, they were just cool South Park games. But this game is like a multiplayer team 3D team versus I mean, I don't know, dude. It does not look like what I would want in a South Park game.
Here's why I'm not excited at all, because I owned this game.
Which game?
Up here, because it was just called South Park, and it was on the Nintendo 64.
The Nintendo 64.
And you fought by throwing snowballs, right? And at the time, this was actually a decent game. Like, we thought it was funny. The graphics were good for the time. It was considered at that time to be a good game, but I owned it, and I played it a lot, and I just don't want to do anything like that ever again. It wasn't that it sucked, it's just that I'm so done with that.
It's probably the new version of this crap.
That's what I feel like.
Like, don't give me that. Give me another RPG that's like the last two games. Those games are so good that, you know, obviously you have to like South Park. If you don't like South Park, you probably won't like the games.
Yeah.
But those games are so good. The way they are done is freaking timeless. Like, the first one came out on PS3. You can play it right now. It feels like it could have came out today because it's in that South Park style.
It looks
it's
like a cartoon.
freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
It will never get old graphically for South Park.
Arc 2,
But yeah.
Grando Reaper says maybe Arc 2 might be Game of the Year. Maybe, but I'm basing my feelings on Arc based on the way Arc 1 was launched, which was pretty rough. And I think Arc 2 will have to come into its own. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to launch. I think a lot of people are going to buy it. I think it's going to be super popular. I just don't think it's going to blow anybody's mind right away. Could be wrong. I'm happy to be wrong, though. And then coming up here in April, looks like we don't have a lot of games. We've got some good ones. We got Ayuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. That's the one we watched today. Super hyped for that. I don't even know what this is. Tales of Kenzaro? Zao?
Oh, I think that's like a porno game.
What is it really? Hang on. Now I gotta look.
I don't know.
Tales of Kenzaro Zao. Let's see what this even is. I don't know if I've heard of this.
Tales of Kenzaro.
Well, right away it's got that stench of indie on it. Let's see.
It's got a little smell of indie on there.
Yeah. It looks like it's
I like some indie games. Some indie games are a masterpiece, but you know.
Looks like it's a 2D Metroidvania type. We've had so many of those.
I know, and I like those, but there's so many get made now, and so many of them are actually not good ones.
Yeah.
That there's only been a handful, I think, that are actually really good. Like, say what you will, the one about the bug is fantastically done. What is that game called?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember. I can't think of what's
Something Night. Yeah. Something Night.
Yeah.
There's a second one of those coming out eventually. Those are actually that's a good one. That is a good one. That one game where you play as the rats, and it's like a medieval rat setting, that game is really good too.
Are you talking about Missing Link mobile Kingdom Hearts? Is that what you're talking about?
Me?
No, Grando Reaper. He said the next Kingdom Hearts mobile, no joke. I don't care about Kingdom Hearts anymore, to be honest. I'm over it.
I don't either, dude. I couldn't even play the third one. I was just like over it.
Let's see what it looks. Did we look this up already? Did we already gag at the new Kingdom Hearts on mobile? Oh Lord, I've seen it though.
I have not. I don't think I have seen it, and I don't think that I need to or want to.
Gosh, it looks stupid, dude. Oh my gosh! Hang on a second. Oh my gosh, what have they done? What was it called again? Kingdom Hearts. What did they say? Missing Link or something like that?
Attack of the Wang Kings, I think.
All right, dude. We have to. Does it show
Go to the city.
Hang on a second. Is it just going to show a stupid cutscene? Because I don't care about that. I definitely don't want to watch some 10-hour long. Oh, is this the game here? Okay, so it does look like a Kingdom Hearts game, right? This is it. I'm assuming. Kingdom Hearts Missing Link reveal trailer. How old is this? 1 year ago. At least it looks like a Kingdom Hearts game. Whatever I pulled up on the Google search was disgusting. Well, I don't care. Screw you, Kingdom Hearts. I'm done with you.
Yeah, I'm done with it, dude.
I'm done with it. Axiom Verge. He does know about that game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Axiom Verge is a good one. That's a good one. I'm really familiar with most of those, but man, they make too many of them now. Some are really good, though. Some are good. Some are still good.
Okay, so next we got Sandland.
Which we've talked about, and I am going to get it. I'm going to get it.
Especially now, right? with recent
Yeah.
news of.
Just as a final salute to Akira Toriyama, I'm going to pick up that game, and I bet I'll enjoy it.
And then we're getting Stellar Blade, which actually looks
I'm
way
actually
better
excited
than
about
I
that.
thought it was going to be.
I am actually pumped about that game. It looks pretty fun.
Dave the Diver, hadn't that already come out? What, is it released on
I
console?
feel like it did. Yeah, that must be the deal.
And we're getting that System Shock remake in May. That could be cool, dude. That was like the OG Bioshock kind of thing. Very RPG.
Oh, yeah.
We had a friend that we worked with that would never shut up about System Shock. Do you remember that, Steve?
Yeah, I do.
He would never shut up. Like, you couldn't mention anything without him somehow twisting it to be about System Shock. You know? We'd be like, it's a good game. But, like, literally you couldn't be like, man, I can't wait till the new Gears of War comes out. You'd be like, oh, bro, it ain't nothing compared to System Shock. Blah, blah, blah. Like, he just
They're like, okay.
He never shut up about it. But I've never beat that game. That's a game I've demoed. Like, you know what I mean? I've tried it. I've never owned it or anything. But I know it's a good game.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'm just going to scroll through the rest of the year here. We get a new Legend of Heroes game. There's that Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. That looks sweet. Monster Hunter Stories 2 is coming out. I think that's already out. It must be coming out for something else.
Yeah.
And then we got a whole lot of maybes. This year is still full of a whole lot of maybes, including that Star Wars Outlaws game, the Knights of the Old Republic remake, Dark Forces Remastered. That did come out, didn't it? I'm pretty sure that came out. Or it's about to.
I thought it did for some reason.
We got the Silent Hill 2 remake.
Dude, Visions of Mana, maybe.
Oh, Visions of
That
Mana,
looks
maybe
awesome.
this year. That does look pretty good. Crimson Desert, still supposed to come out this year.
Oh, yeah, dude. I almost forgot how crazy that game looks.
Blue Protocol, I'm looking forward to that one.
I really hope Star Wars Outlaws turns out to be good, man. I really hope it does.
We need a win. We need a win.
I'm a little afraid, but I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go for it.
And Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, that's one to watch out for. That could be good.
Did you play the first one, Bloodlines?
Yeah.
I didn't. Is it cool? What kind of game is it?
Yeah, it was good, dude. It was based off a tabletop game, right?
I knew that, and I remember the old stuff for it.
And it was super RPG like, and it was interesting because it was, you know, revolving around vampire lore and all that. I mean, I didn't play all the way through it, but I had a lot of friends who were obsessed with it. You know, Matt is one who was completely obsessed with the first one. Do you remember that he would try to get us to install it on our computers all the time, but we were too busy playing MMOs.
Yeah.
He'd be like, you got to play it though. He like still had the box. He would like bring it to you and be like, put this in your computer and play it. So I mean, I know it's a good game.
Maybe that'll be cool.
So that might be worth looking out for. So we got a few.
That Wolverine game they're making that is going to come out eventually might be cool too. If you're into that kind of thing. Have you seen any footage for it or anything?
I don't think so.
Dude, let me see if I can find something real quick here.
Yeah, I'm looking it up too. Wolverine trailer.
Is there a trailer?
Oh, let me type in game, maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Game leaked trailer from 3 weeks ago. There's also Marvel's Wolverine new gameplay. Here we go, 2 months ago. No, I haven't seen this. Let's see. Here, I'll link it.
This actually might be awesome. Yeah, let me get the link here. The little link. The link to the past.
There's the link to the past, to the future.
All right, I'll just use it to form a link between worlds. All right, I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, this has got is this legit? This is a bunch of footage of it. Cool.
It's by Insomniac, so it's not going to be complete garbage. That's like guaranteed. It'll probably be good,
Yeah, dude.
actually.
It looks freaking cool, man.
What? Old school Wolverine? Is that like one of the costumes?
Construction sites.
Probably, yeah.
It's going to go meet Mystique. Okay, this video quality isn't great, so you got to use your imagination a little bit, but
Yeah, it's only 720p.
it looks cool. What you assumed it would actually look like if you were playing it.
Maybe I'll buy Mystique a drink after we dealt with Trask.
His voice isn't right.
Mystique ambushes him, takes him out. Then copies his face. Gotta find where that came from.
I'm getting a weird vibe.
What's that?
That, like, this isn't the real Wolverine. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else getting that vibe?
That it's not the real Wolverine?
Yeah, like it's a fake one. You know what I mean? Like this guy's just pretending to be Wolverine. There's something I'm not getting the vibe.
Building materials.
Yeah, like
metal,
this looks like such.
Levers,
It looks like pretty early.
Yeah,
game footage, right?
I have a feeling that it's not complete. Yeah, whatever.
I'm kind of just skipping around in the video, and there's like a lot of concept art looking stuff, and there's even like video footage of him just running around like in a gray test zone or something.
The Crinkled one says it's Wolverine played by Batman. I mean, this could be a really cool game. I think maybe this trailer...
That doesn't make it look... The reveal trailer made it look really cool that they officially released, but, you know...
Let's take a look at that.
That doesn't look so great.
From the showcase from 2021. So they've been working on this for a hot minute.
Trailer 2 years ago, who knows?
So this old reveal trailer, I want to point out, like, obviously there's no gameplay. This was like the announcement that they were just even making it, right? And I do a lot of complaints about when they do this. But when there's nostalgia attached, you can get away with that a little bit. You know what I mean? A little bit. I still would have preferred to show a little bit of gameplay, right? But because it's Wolverine, you can get away with it a little bit more. Yeah, you see the flannel, you see them hairy arms. He's looking he's looking pretty buff there. He's at the bar. It's enough to give you the vibe. You know what I mean? If this was some brand new character that we'd never heard of before, right? This would be the shittiest trailer of all time. Let's just be honest. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
It completely relies on that you like Wolverine.
Yeah, which I do. I always like, I'm, you know, classic kid in the early 90s, etc.
Yep.
Loved
Wolverine. That's how it was.
He was cool.
I loved him too.
Yeah. He was cool. He was my favorite sometimes. You know what I mean? Sometimes Wolverine was my favorite. Sometimes he wasn't.
He was awesome in the Marvel vs. Capcom games as well.
Yes, he was. He was always fun to play in video games in the past, right? So if there was an X-Men game like the Super Nintendo one, Sega Genesis one, I want to say there was a really shitty Sega Genesis X-Men game that you play as Wolverine that sucked. But one of them sucked. But most of the time, you got to play as Wolverine. It was a good time. So,
we're having a great time playing as Wolverine.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's all I've got.
So hopefully it's cool. Yep, that's what we got. We're wrapping it up with the Wolvie Snatch.
That's the show, folks. That's what we got this week. Definitely be on the lookout for freaking the highlight and probably most of the show next week is going to be us talking about
Dragon's Dogma.
Like Dragon's Dogma 2 is going to be the big smash hit. Like, I know some people, I get it, we're a little worried. Like, what if it sucks at launch? And it might. You never know. But I will say this. The creators put a lot of heart and soul into it, and I think it's going to actually launch. There may be some issues, you know what I mean? There may be a couple little things here and there, some minor quirks going on, maybe even some glitches. But I do believe this is going to launch and be a badass game, like on day one. You know what I mean? They care about it.
Yeah, I'm
too
hoping
much.
so. Hopefully I'm not coming back next week being like, guys, Princess Peach is clearly the winner of what game is better of the two.
Hopefully that's how it happens, but you never know. We live in 2024 in the world of video games, so you literally never know. And yes, just let me play. I will be playing Pantheon tonight over on the Static Group Live channel. And then tomorrow is Tuesday, so I'll be playing a ton of it tomorrow. It's pretty much my entire schedule tomorrow is playing some of that. And yes, we're doing the Manor Group is what we're planning on doing. I'll be on my Cleric. So go check that out. We'll be going live here in about an hour. So I'm going to eat and get ready for that. Thank you all so much for coming out to the Nathan and Steve Show. I hope you guys enjoyed that beautiful intro. And I'm going to play it on the way out and just cut the stream before it get, right at the end of it. Because it's such a glorious intro. All right. Any parting words, Steve?
No, just thanks for tuning into the show, and can't wait to play Dragon's Dogma 2. We're definitely going to be slathering the toast about that next week.
Yeah. What's up,
you guys
Jared?
have a great night.
Everybody have a great night. Hello, Jared. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. We are ending the show, but check out this.
Let's start over.
Check out this beautiful intro that we made. And everybody have a good night. I'll see you guys over on Static Group Live for the Pantheon stream.
It's the Nathan and Steve Show. Let's have a good time. You have never seen a show like you're about to see today, folks. This is gonna get crazy. Who else is gonna tell you about the games? About the news that's news about the games?
Are you gonna listen to some boring other goobers? Why not trust these two YouTubers?
So we're having lots of fun. It's a good time talking about games.
The Nathan and Steve Show. 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 The Nathan and Steve Show.
We'll tell you about games are straight up fire and about some devs that are freaking liars.
So we learned our lesson about talking bad about Borderlands.
We sure did.
It's the Nathan and Steve Show. Let's have a good time.
No copyright music like Shania Twain, but we sure do talk about video games.
And we also like all kinds of things, so you might hear us say whatever's on our brains.
The Nathan and Steve Show. 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 The Nathan and Steve Show.
Lots of games you need to play.
So we'll have a lot of freaking fun today.
With the nipple laser ray.
That's what they say. The Nathan and Steve Show, brought to you by the Nathan Napalm Channel and our partners at Fringe Pony Television Network.